Chapter 2393. Fight with me? I don't want to bully the weak. Lu Ming shook his head slightly. Xian Lin's cultivation was not worth mentioning in his eyes. Lu Ming, you don't dare to fight, do you? Xian Lin took a step forward in an aggressive manner. During the Battle of 10 Lands, he was still young and his cultivation was insufficient. He couldn't compete with Lu Ming and the rest, and that was something he regretted. He was ambitious and wanted to defeat Lu Ming to prove that if he was in that era, he could also become the #1 genius. If you want to fight, I'll fight with you, Autumn Moon said. Humph, Lu Ming, are you going to hide behind a woman? You are indeed useless. Useless. You actually won the first battle of 10 lands. What a joke. Attack, I'll defeat you in 10 moves. Xian Lin shouted coldly and kept stepping forward. His powerful aura kept pressuring Lu Ming. In the end, he threw a punch and a giant tortoise was formed. It was as big as a mountain and it pressed down on Lu Ming. Since you want to fight, I'll play with you, Lu Ming said calmly and stepped out. With a swoosh, Lu Ming charged towards Xian Lin. Boom! Without seeing Lu Ming attack, Lu Ming charged past and Xian Lin's giant tortoise exploded. Lu Ming didn't stop and he appeared in front of Xian Lin in an instant. The two of them were less than a meter apart. Xian Lin's pupils constricted and he roared in horror. He retreated frantically. But suddenly, he realized that he couldn't move at all. The space around him seemed to have been locked down. Lu Ming reached out and grabbed Xian Lin's throat. Everyone couldn't help but open their eyes wide. What was going on? They didn't see Lu Ming attack and there wasn't any powerful aura. How did Lu Ming grab Xian Lin's throat? It was as if Xian Lin was waiting there and didn't move at all for Lu Ming to grab. Everyone couldn't figure it out. With your strength, you want to challenge me? Lu Ming said softly, his voice full of disdain. Xian Lin struggled frantically, his eyes flashing with terror. Scram! Lu Ming swung his hand and Xian Lin's body was smashed into the ground. With a loud bang, a huge crater appeared on the ground. Xian Lin lay in the crater and vomited blood. Everyone else was dumbfounded. One move, no, Lu Ming didn't even make a move, and Xian Lin was defeated. He couldn't even withstand a single blow. Wasn't Lu Ming unable to become a great emperor? How could he have such powerful battle prowess? Could it be that Lu Ming had already become a great emperor? Thinking of this, many people's hearts beat wildly. Lu Ming already grasped many laws below martial emperor. He even grasped different strongest laws. This was heaven-defying. Even the Celestial Emperor asserted that Lu Ming would never be able to break through and become a Celestial Emperor in his lifetime. However, if Lu Ming could create a miracle and become a Celestial Emperor, how powerful would his battle prowess be? Lu Ming, I want you dead. Kill him. Below, Xian Lin screamed hysterically. He was the #1 genius in the Divine Fate land. He had never been defeated in a battle among his peers. He had never known the taste of failure. Just a moment ago, he had come in a domineering manner and said that he would defeat Lu Ming in 10 moves. However now, he was easily defeated by Lu Ming. He couldn't even withstand a single blow. He couldn't accept such an outcome at all. He was furious and wanted to chop Lu Ming into pieces. A flower in a greenhouse can't withstand the wind and waves. Lu Ming shook his head, revealing a look of disdain. It seemed that Lu Ming's generation was the real golden generation. There were many geniuses and they competed with each other. Many of them had strong minds and had experienced many storms. However, there were fewer geniuses in this generation. Xian Lin's path had been too smooth. Although his talents were good, his mind was lacking compared to Tianming and the others. Once he met with failure and setbacks, he would immediately collapse. He couldn't bear it. Kill him for me, Xian Lin screamed. Lu Ming's words had pierced his heart. Lu Ming, kneel down and accept your death. The few people who came with Xian Lin dashed toward Lu Ming, emitting a terrifying aura. True emperors. 3 of them were true emperors. They were surrounded by godly light and looked like deities. Kneel down. The terrifying pressure of the true emperors pressed down on Lu Ming, wanting to force Lu Ming to his knees. Pressure my ass. All of you get lost. Lu Ming hollered and threw a punch out. The void exploded as the terrifying fist energy rushed towards the 3 true emperors. The 3 true emperors were almost scared to death when they felt Lu Ming's terrifying fist energy. That kind of power was simply not something they could contend against. They wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Boom! The force of the fist crushed over, and the bodies of the three people exploded. Then, under the force of the fist, they turned into flying flames. The scene suddenly quieted down. Not a single sound could be heard. Everyone's eyes were wide open in disbelief. 3 true emperors, that was 3 true emperors. How could Lu Ming turn them into ashes with one punch? How was that possible? How could Lu Ming's combat ability be so powerful? Dongfeng Xueqi stood there in a daze, her mouth slightly open as if she was in a dream. Xianlin was also stunned. His eyes were filled with fear and disbelief. Let me send you on your way. Lu Ming looked at Xianlin and stomped down. A giant foot formed by the power of the world stomped down on Xianlin. Ah! Xianlin screamed in fear. At this moment, a figure flashed as fast as lightning and swept Xianlin away before Lu Ming's giant foot stomped down. A white-haired old man in a white robe appeared in the distance. He was holding Xianlin, who was still in shock. Great Emperor! Lu Ming whispered. It's one of the Xian clan's doyen, a great emperor. The Xian clan's great emperor has appeared. I think he's going to deal with Lu Ming. Lu Ming is too impulsive. The Xian clan is one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. Let's see how Lu Ming deals with the great emperor. A few people spoke out, recognizing this elder. Xianlin was overjoyed when he came back to his senses. Doyen, ha ha ha, you came at the right time. Kill Lu Ming for me. Kill that bastard. Xianlin shouted. Today, Lu Ming had humiliated him. He must kill Lu Ming to vent his anger. The Xian clan's doyen emitted a powerful aura. That was the aura of a great emperor. Within a radius of 10,000 miles, it was filled with terrifying pressure. Those with weaker cultivation had to kneel down. Ordinary people were too weak when facing a great emperor. They couldn't contend with him at all. It seems like you want to die too. Out of everyone's expectations, Lu Ming's face was calm as he spoke indifferently. He was actually threatening a great emperor. Everyone was dumbfounded. They originally thought that Lu Ming would be afraid when facing a great emperor. They thought that he would be terrified and run away. They never expected that Lu Ming would actually threaten a great emperor. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with cold light as he looked at the doyen. The Xian clan's doyen's heart beat wildly as though he was being targeted by a terrifying beast. In the next moment, he would be torn apart and killed. This feeling shocked him greatly. What's going on? What a terrifying feeling. Could it be that Lu Ming's strength is far above mine? No, I must retreat today. Chapter 2394. Retreat! Xian family's grand elder shouted. Xianlin and Dongfeng Xueqi, who was in a daze, retreated and disappeared in an instant. They retreated? All around, everyone was dumbfounded. They thought that Xian family's grand elder would make a move. They did not expect him to retreat. Why would Xian family's grand elder retreat? Was he afraid of Lu Ming and did not dare to make a move? That's impossible, right? No one could figure it out. Lu Ming did not pursue. His purpose of coming to Aeon City was not Xian family but Mu family. If Xian family did not want to die, he would not bother. Mu family should have gathered all their forces this time. I hope Heng family, He family and Daluo Heaven sect are also here. Don't let me come here in vain. Lu Ming looked in the direction of Mu family and chuckled. In the crowd, some people's eyes flickered and then left. These people were naturally people from Mu family. Next, Lu Ming and Qiu strolled for a while and then returned to their residence. The news of Lu Ming's return, defeating Xianlin in one move, killing 3 true emperors with one punch, and even scaring away a great emperor from Xian family spread quickly. Not only did it spread throughout Aeon City, but it also spread to every corner of Divine Fate Land. Countless people who heard the news were shocked. Lu Ming had broken through to Emperor Realm. Many people knew that Lu Ming had broken through to Martial Emperor Realm. The assertion of Heavenly Emperor was broken. Next, would Xian family make a move on Lu Ming? Many people guessed. As for Lu Ming's residence, it naturally attracted more people's attention. Many people were watching Lu Ming's residence at all times, concerned about the development of the situation. There were even many people who rushed over from other places. In Xian family's meeting hall, a group of people was discussing matters. These were the higher-ups of Xian family. Most of them were great Emperor Realm experts. We must kill Lu Ming. Fellow Grand Elders, please do it. Xianlin shouted. His eyes were blood-red and filled with ferocious killing intent. During this period of time, the news of him being easily defeated by Lu Ming had spread like wildfire. His reputation had plummeted and was no longer what it used to be. He hated Lu Ming so much that he wanted nothing more than to grind Lu Ming's bones into dust. I think so too. We need to kill Lu Ming. Another person spoke. Old Nine, tell me, why did you retreat before? At the very top was an extremely old man. At this moment, he was looking at the doyen who had saved Xianlin. The Grand Elder from before was the 9th Grand Elder of the Xian family. Elder Nine frowned and pondered for a moment, before he said, I can sense a terrifying aura from Lu Ming's body. I have a feeling that if I were to make a move, I would most likely die in Lu Ming's hands. What? Everyone else was shocked, and Xianlin widened his eyes in disbelief. How is that possible? Could it be that Lu Ming could threaten the Great Emperor? Even if he has broken through to the Martial Emperor realm, it is impossible for him to break through to the Great Emperor realm so quickly. Impossible. Xianlin found it hard to accept and shook his head repeatedly. Could it be that Lu Ming has really reached such a shocking level? The other Grand Elders whispered and their gazes were solemn. The higher one's cultivation, the more accurate their intuition would be. A great emperor's intuition would generally not be wrong. Lu Ming cannot be judged by common sense. Once he breaks through to the Martial Emperor realm, he will be like a dragon entering the sea. There will be no restrictions. It is not impossible for him to have the combat strength of a great emperor. I suggest that we do not take action against Lu Ming for the time being. Let's observe the situation first. The oldest Grand Elder said. I agree. I agree too. The other Grand Elders nodded. Although the remaining Grand Elders and Xianlin wanted to take action, most of the Grand Elders did not agree and they had no choice. Time flew by and 5 days passed. At Lu Ming's residence. Brother Lu Ming, I have already found out that the Heng family, He family, and Daluo Heaven sect are all in the Mu family. Moreover, almost all the great emperors of the Mu family have returned to the Mu family headquarters. They seem to be on guard. Bubbles conveyed some information to Lu Ming. These days, Bubbles and Dandan went out to investigate the Mu family and finally found something. Lu Ming came to Aeon City. Needless to say, the 2 groups of assassins from the Death Nation had failed. Lu Ming's strength frightened the Mu family. It was natural for them to gather experts to deal with the Mu family. It's time. The Mu family, Heng family, He family, and Daluo Heaven sect will be destroyed today, Lu Ming said indifferently. Then he strode out and headed in the direction of the Mu family. Lu Ming's action naturally alarmed those who were paying attention to Lu Ming. Where is Lu Ming going? He is full of murderous intent. Is he going to kill his way to the Xian family? Impossible. No, this direction is not the Xian family. In the dark, many people were discussing and following behind Lu Ming secretly. Not long after, there were mountains and cranes in front of them. There were countless palaces. This was the Mu family. Boom. Lu Ming suddenly took a step forward. In the sky, endless power gathered and formed a giant foot. It covered the sky and the sun and stomped on the Mu family headquarters. The mountains trembled under the giant foot. Lu Ming was going to attack the Mu family? Everyone who followed him was dumbfounded. Their hearts were beating wildly. The Mu family's strength was stronger than the Xian family. What shocked them even more was Lu Ming's strength. This foot was like the foot of a deity. It was unbelievably powerful. Great Emperor. This was the strength of a great emperor. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Ming actually had the strength of a great emperor. No wonder the patriarch of the Xian family had retreated. Silhouettes flew out from the Mu family's palace. When they saw the huge foot, they were in a state of panic and they flew everywhere. Impudent. A long roar came from the Mu family. A giant palm flew out from the Mu family and turned into a giant palm. It collided with Lu Ming's giant foot. Boom. The mountains trembled and the void collapsed. Terrifying energy swept out in all directions. The giant foot and the giant hand dissipated together. In the sky above the Mu family, a middle-aged man appeared. His aura was extremely terrifying. The Mu family's patriarch. In the distance, someone whispered and recognized this person. Heavens, the Mu family's patriarch is said to be a 3-star great emperor. He just blocked Lu Ming's attack. Lu Ming has become so strong. Quick, spread the news. Something big has happened. Lu Ming is going to attack the Mu family. Quick. Many people discussed in shock. The news was spread out one by one. Aeon City was in an uproar. Countless people rushed towards the Mu family. When the Xian family received the news, they were also stunned. They then sent experts to the Mu family to monitor the situation. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. After the Mu family's patriarch appeared, many figures rushed out from the depths of the Mu family. Each of these figures exuded a vast and boundless aura. The pressure of the great Tao filled the world. These were all great emperors. There were more than 20 of them. Chapter 2395. More than 20 great emperors from the Mu clan lined up in a row. Their auras were as vast as the sea, filling the entire Aeon City with a terrifying pressure. Such a lineup made the onlookers change their expressions and tremble with fear. However, Lu Ming looked indifferent as if he did not see so many great emperors. He glanced at the people of the Mu clan and frowned, saying, "Don't hide anymore. People of those clans, come out." The clans he mentioned were naturally the Hung clan, the He clan and the Daluo Heaven sect. However, the master of the Mu clan sneered and did not answer Lu Ming's question. Instead he asked, "Lu Ming, today you attacked the Mu clan for no reason. Do you think we are easy to bully? If you don't give an explanation today, you don't have to leave. Don't you know why I'm here? You're really good at pretending. The Mu clan, the Han clan, the He clan and the Daluo Heaven sect hired people from the Death Kingdom to kill me. Today's account should be settled properly." Lu Ming's voice spread all over the place. What? The Mu clan hired people from the Death Kingdom to kill Lu Ming? Is it true? It's very likely. Lu Ming killed the strongest genius of the Mu clan, Mu Yang. This is a deadly feud. How can the Mu clan let it go? Indeed, I'm afraid it's true. Otherwise, Lu Ming would not kill his way to the Mu clan. Lu Ming is really bold. He actually killed his way to the Mu clan. What do you think the result will be today? It's hard to say. If Lu Ming is not sure, he would not dare to come here. However, the Mu clan has been passed down for countless years and its foundation is unfathomable. The result is hard to say. Lu Ming's words caused an uproar and many people were talking about it. Nonsense. If the Mu clan wants to kill you, why would we hire people from the Death Kingdom? We can send anyone to kill you. The master of the Mu clan sneered. Any random person can kill me? Then I'd like to see if the Mu clan has this ability. Lu Ming sneered. Having said that, he stepped out and headed toward the Mu family. Bang! Bang! Every step Lu Ming took caused the void to vibrate continuously. Rays of light radiated from Lu Ming's body. That was the radiance of the laws. 1 type, 2 types, 3 types. All sorts of laws appeared one after another. When more than 10 types of laws appeared, the scene was dead silent. Everyone was tongue-tied, and their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Oh my God, what did I see? The laws of primal chaos, the laws of death, the laws of life, and the laws of reincarnation. No, there's also the eternal law, the void law, the primordial law, and the space-time law. 8 of them. He has mastered 8 supreme laws. There are also 9 types of monarch Dao laws and 17 types of laws. He has mastered 17 types of laws. Moreover, he has cultivated all 17 types of laws to the limit and reached the 3rd realm. How is this possible? How is this possible? Freak! This is a freak! When they saw Lu Ming reveal all the laws, everyone in the surroundings shouted hysterically, unable to control their emotions. This could no longer be described as shock. Their emotions were 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times stronger than shock. The truth of cultivation was that a person could only master 1 type of supreme law. Moreover, not everyone could master the supreme law. Those who could master 1 type of supreme law were the top geniuses in the world. But now there was a person who not only mastered the supreme law, but also not 1, 2 or 3 types but 8 types. This was not only breaking the truth, but also trampling the truth into pieces. One could imagine how everyone felt. The people of the Mu clan were tongue-tied, their eyes were wide open, and they were horrified. In the depths of the Mu clan, the experts of the Han clan, He clan, and Daluo Heaven sect who were hiding in the dark were almost scared to death when they saw this scene. Lu Ming was shrouded in 17 types of light. He stood in the air like a god descending from the heavens. Come, let's see who can kill me. Lu Ming's eyes shot out 2 rays of divine light as he stared at the people of the Mu clan. So what if you have mastered 17 types of laws? You're still in the true emperor realm. Let me kill you. A tall and sturdy old man stepped out from the Mu clan like a lion. This old man's cultivation had reached the 3-star great sovereign realm. The Mu clan did not dare to underestimate Lu Ming. Although Lu Ming looked like a true emperor realm expert, he had mastered 17 types of laws. Most importantly, 8 of them were supreme laws. With the combination of so many laws, Lu Ming's combat strength could not be measured by common sense. It was possible for him to fight against a 1-star great sovereign or even a 2-star great sovereign, but they had sent out a 3-star great sovereign. The difference between a true emperor and a 3-star great sovereign was too great. They did not believe that Lu Ming could kill a 3-star great sovereign. Even if the 3-star great sovereign could not defeat him, he could at least keep his life and test out Lu Ming's true combat strength. Bang! Bang! The old man, who was like a lion, had a crazy aura. He stepped on the void and dashed toward Lu Ming at an increasingly fast speed. Slash! Suddenly, a saber appeared in the old man's hand and he slashed towards Lu Ming. The saber light was shocking and lit up the sky as if it was going to split the sky of Aeon City into 2. Kill! Lu Ming said indifferently. Before his voice died away, a long spear appeared in his hand. It was a long spear that was formed by the laws and the power of the world. Lu Ming's arm muscles bulged and he threw the long spear out. Swoosh! The long spear flew out like a ray of light, faster than lightning. This long spear not only contained the power of Lu Ming's power of the world, the power of the laws and the power of his physical body. The moment the long spear collided with the saberlight was shattered. The long spear did not slow down and continued to stab towards the old man. The 3-star great sovereign of the Mu clan did not expect that his all-out attack could not withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. He was stunned for a moment and his fate was sealed. Puff! Lu Ming's long spear directly pierced through his dantian and destroyed his small world. Together with his body, he flew out into the depths of the Mu family and crashed into a hall. Boom! The palace directly exploded, and a large group of figures flew out from inside. These people were from the Hung clan, He clan, and Daluo Heaven's sect. The 3-star great sovereign of the Mu clan was pierced through by Lu Ming's long spear. He was nailed to the ground and screamed in agony. My cultivation base, my cultivation base. The shrill screams were heard all over the place. Hiss! The whole place was filled with gasps. A 3-star great sovereign was nailed to the ground by Lu Ming and his cultivation was destroyed. This scene was too shocking. A 3-star great sovereign could not withstand a single blow. How could this be? Had Lu Ming's combat strength reached such a terrifying level? Everyone felt like they were dreaming. In the crowd in the distance, there were people from the Xian clan who were watching. There were several founding elders, including Xian Lin and Dongfang Xueqi. At this moment, they were completely petrified and could not stop gasping. How could this be? How could this be? Xian Lin was like a fool and kept whispering. Chapter 2396. Hung clan, He clan, and Daluo Heaven's sect are all here. Lu Ming looked at the Heng family and the He family, revealing a cold smile at the corners of his lips. People from the Mu family, including the Heng family, the He family, and the Daluo Heaven's sect, all looked terrible. Their eyes were full of shock. Lu Ming, you crippled the cultivation of the Mu family's great emperor for no reason. You must pay the price today. The great emperor of Mu clan roared. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, more than 20 great emperors from Mu clan struck at the same time. More than 20 great emperors from Mu clan, ranging from 1-star great emperors to 5-star great emperors, struck at the same time. The void instantly collapsed and terrifying attacks were directed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's combat ability was far beyond their imagination and they were terrified. They wanted to kill Lu Ming in an instant so that he would not be left with a corpse. Bas! Lu Ming's muscles suddenly vibrating billions of times in an instant. The void collapsed and Lu Ming's figure dashed out. The moment Lu Ming dashed out, he unleashed the 6-feathered divine wings to increase his speed. In an instant, he dodged the other party's joint attack and charged toward the Mu family's great emperors. Gather, gather! The master of Mu clan roared. More than 20 great emperors from Mu clan gathered together and formed a circle. This way, they could prevent Lu Ming from attacking them one by one. Is it useful to join forces? Lu Ming's cold voice resounded and a long spear appeared in his hand again. However, this long spear was not formed by Lu Ming's order. It was a real long spear. Great Spear of Desolation. Heaven Weapon. Although Lu Ming could not display the power of Heaven Wei in the Heaven Weapon, the material of the Great Spear of Desolation was sturdy and indestructible. It could allow Lu Ming to display all of his strength and enhance Lu Ming's combat strength. Boom! Lu Ming held the Great Spear of Desolation and unleashed his strength to the extreme. He swept the spear out. The sky continued to explode as the Great Baron Spear swept up an endless void storm towards the 20 over great emperors from the Mu clan. The might of the spear was shocking to the extreme. It was as if the spear was going to crush all 20 or so great emperors of the Mu clan. Join hands! The head of the Mu family roared. All the great emperors of the Mu family joined forces and blasted out various attacks toward Lu Ming. Among the 20 over great emperors of the Mu clan, there were a few 5-star great emperors with astounding strength. With so many people joining forces, they could definitely contend with a 6-star great emperor. Boom! Their attacks collided with Lu Ming's long spear. A terrifying explosion erupted, and the force swept out in all directions. Retreat! Retreat! The spectators frantically retreated to create enough distance between them. Most of the spectators were not great emperors, so they didn't dare to get too close. Otherwise, they would be killed if Lu Ming and the others got involved. After the explosion, Lu Ming's body shook and he retreated. However, the 20 over experts of the Mu clan also retreated. Some of the weaker ones even spat out mouthfuls of blood and were severely injured. Lu Ming's current combat strength, physical body, power of the realm, power of law, and the Great Baron Spear were enough to contend with a 6-star Great Emperor. How could the 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors withstand a head-on collision? Again! Lu Ming retreated a few steps and took a step in the void to stabilize himself. With the Great Baron Spear in his hand, he charged towards the great emperors of the Mu clan again. Boom! This time, Lu Ming held the Great Baron Spear with both hands and smashed it down with the weight of Mount Tai. Boom! The Great Baron Spear rapidly enlarged and became as heavy as a mountain, as if it could crush everything. The 20 over great emperors of the Mu clan roared and unleashed their strongest attacks towards the Great Baron Spear. The attacks from both sides collided once again. Bas! The Great Baron Spear vibrated continuously and was repelled away. However, the people of the Mu clan were in a worse state. A few of the 1-star great emperors trembled violently and their bodies cracked from the terrifying recoil. Their bodies were covered in blood and their auras were weak. They were unable to continue fighting. Heal yourselves first. The Mu clan's patriarch roared. However, Lu Ming's third attack arrived at this moment. This collision caused the Mu clan's 2-star great emperors to tremble violently and almost die from the recoil. They were unable to continue fighting. Again! Lu Ming was like a martial emperor war god as his attacks rained down like a storm. The number of great emperors of the Mu clan was decreasing and they were no match for Lu Ming. Towards the end, they were at a disadvantage in every collision. Towards the end, even the 3-star great emperors and 4-star great emperors were injured. Even the 5-star great emperors were pale and gasping for breath. The hearts of the people who were watching the battle from all directions were in a perilous situation. They were shocked to the extreme. Lu Ming's combat strength was too strong. He was completely suppressing the Mu clan. Was the Mu clan going to be annihilated today? In the depths of the Mu clan, the Hung clan's great emperors, He clan's great emperors and Tian Luo great emperors were pale and their eyes were filled with disbelief. They found it hard to believe that Lu Ming's combat strength had reached such a level. With Lu Ming's current combat strength, he could kill them in an instant if he wanted to. How can this be? They roared in their hearts as they could not accept this fact. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming continued to attack and his attacks became more and more violent. In the end, the Mu clan's 5-star great emperors were injured and were no match for Lu Ming. Kill! Suddenly, Lu Ming's attack changed. He went around the 5-star great emperors and the great desolate spear shook violently. In an instant, dozens of spear lights were shot out. His target was the low-level great emperors. Not good, we blocked it. The Mu clan's high-level great emperors' faces changed drastically. They unleashed their full strength in an attempt to block Lu Ming's attack. However, no matter how hard they tried, they could only block half of the spear lights. The remaining spear lights continued to pierce towards the low-level great emperors. The low-level great emperors, especially the 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors, tried their best to block, but it was useless. The 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors' foreheads were pierced by the spear lights and their souls were destroyed. Dead. The Mu clan's 1-star and 2-star Great Emperors were instantly annihilated. A total of 8 of them died. 8 Great Emperors were instantly annihilated. This caused everyone to be shocked, and at the same time, it also caused the people of the Mu clan to be furious and filled with murderous intent. Lu Ming, I want you to die without a burial place. The Mu clan's patriarch roared. His eyes were bloodshot and his face was ferocious. 8 Great Emperors. How great of a loss was this? His heart was bleeding. Their Mu clan had been passed down for countless years. They had relied on a long time to accumulate so many great emperors. However, 8 of them had died in an instant. This was an unbearable loss. Now you know how to feel heartache. If you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have thought of this day when your Mu clan wanted to kill me. At this moment, in this world, you won't be the only ones killing others. Others won't kill you. Lu Ming said coldly. There was no pity or sympathy in his voice. He and the Mu clan were mortal enemies. It was either you die or I die. Chapter 2397. The people of the Mu family were speechless and could only look at Lu Ming with murderous intent. Kill! Lu Ming said coldly. He held the long spear in his hand and charged forward again. Today, he would not leave any of the upper echelons of the Mu family alive. Evil creature, die! At this moment, a loud roar came from the depths of the Mu family. The voice was filled with vicissitudes of life. Then, a terrifying blade light slashed out from the depths of the Mu family. Peak Great Emperor. When this blade light appeared, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. The Mu family was indeed unfathomable. There were still experts who had not made a move. There were actually peak Great Emperors in hibernation. Ha ha ha, I have been waiting for this moment. A loud laugh came. Then, a huge tortoise shell appeared out of thin air and blocked the blade light. It was Dandan who had made a move. Previously, he and Bubble had been watching from the side without any intention of making a move. It was to prevent the Mu family from having stronger existences. Clang! The blade light slashed on the tortoise shell. The shell shook and dissipated. However, the blade light was also blocked. Boom! Boom! Then, a terrifying aura erupted from the depths of the Mu family. A total of 5 auras erupted. It was vast and mighty. A terrifying pressure spread between heaven and earth. Then, 5 old men stepped out and appeared in front of everyone. These 5 old men were very old. Their hair was snow white and their skin was dry and wrinkled. They were like 5 withered skeletons. Old ancestors. The Mu family head was overjoyed. It's the old ancestors. The old ancestors are indeed not dead. They have come out of seclusion. Let's see how they will die this time. The other people of the Mu family were also overjoyed. The Mu family indeed has a strong foundation. These should be the old monsters who are in seclusion. Someone who was watching the battle from afar said. The Mu family was definitely one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. They had a strong foundation. Legend had it that a long time ago, the Mu family had even produced a heavenly emperor. However, the heavenly emperor of the Mu family died in battle. But from this, it could be seen how strong the Mu family was. There had always been a legend that there were some old monsters in seclusion in the depths of the Mu family. They cultivated wholeheartedly and did not care about the outside world. They only wanted to raise their cultivation to resist the heavenly tribulation, and even break through to the heavenly emperor realm. Only when the Mu clan was in danger, he would not come out of seclusion. Today, after the Mu clan's martial monarchs were killed one after another, these old men had indeed come out. The Mu clan's resources are truly profound. Today we're saved. Lu Ming is dead for sure. The Hung clan great monarch, Tian Luo great monarch, and the others were overjoyed. 3 6-star great emperors and 2 7-star great emperors. Dandan, I'll leave them to you. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Dandan. Don't worry, I'll take care of it soon. Dandan was very confident. Back at the Void God Island, Dandan was only a 6-star great emperor, but he could suppress other peak great emperors and even kill them. Moreover, Dandan had already become a peak 7-star great monarch. With his strength, it was easy for him to kill those who were at the same level as him. The 5 old men from the Mu clan swept their gazes over Lu Ming like lightning. Their cold and shriveled voices rang out. You killed a member of my Mu clan. Kill without mercy. Kill your sister. Have a taste of my invincible tortoise fist. Dandan charged out with extreme speed and threw a punch at one of the peak great emperors from the Mu clan. His punch was filled with dazzling runes as though it was forming a world. The old man from the Mu clan was shocked and quickly set up layers of defense. However, these defenses were useless as they were penetrated by Dandan's punch. Then, Dandan's fist landed heavily on the old man's face. Bam! Kacha! The sound of bones breaking resounded throughout the place. The old man from the Mu clan cried out in pain as his body flew far away and smashed into a palace in the Mu clan. Everyone was dumbfounded. One of the old men from the Mu clan had a terrifying aura as he was a peak great emperor. The moment he appeared, everyone was shocked. However, his arrogance only lasted for a few seconds before he was sent flying with a single punch. Moreover, the one who sent him flying was a teenager who wore a Taoist robe. A teenage Taoist priest. With Dandan's appearance, it was easy for people to overlook him because he wasn't that impressive. However, at this moment, the impact on everyone was the greatest. Lu Ming did have a helper. His combat strength is shockingly strong. He sent a peak great emperor flying with a punch. No wonder he dared to attack the Mu clan. Terrifying. Is the Mu clan really finished today? Many people were discussing. Among them, the Xian clan was the most shocked. Xian Lin and Dongfang Xueqi swallowed their saliva as cold sweat flowed down their faces. Their clothes were drenched in cold sweat. At this moment, they were secretly glad that they didn't attack Lu Ming. Otherwise, their Xian clan would be finished. The Xian clan's strength couldn't be compared to the Mu clan. They would really be finished. Pervert! Pervert! I'll never provoke this pervert again. Xian Lin roared in his heart. He was really scared. At this moment, the remaining 4 old men from the Mu clan felt goosebumps all over their body. They instinctively retreated frantically and distanced themselves from Dandan. You dare to flaunt your seniority in front of me? You don't know the meaning of death. Kill. Dandan flicked his sleeves, looking like a peerless expert. Then he charged towards the Mu clan's ancestors. A huge world appeared. It was vast and boundless, exuding a majestic pressure that pressed down on the Mu clan's ancestors. Even if others condensed a small world, they wouldn't be able to directly use it against their enemies. This was because the small world they condensed wasn't as stable and would be easily destroyed by others. However, Dandan could do it. He was the world divine tortoise. The word world wasn't just for show. His control over the small world had reached the peak. The small world was incomparably stable and possessed great power. It also had an indestructible defense. The small world covered the sky as it pressed down. The Mu clan's ancestors had nowhere to run. They could only face it head-on. Boom, boom, boom. The Mu clan's elders attacked. 4 attacks were launched towards Dandan's small world. Behind them, the elder who was almost killed by Dandan's punch also made a move. However, the 5 attacks only caused Dandan's small world to tremble. They couldn't break it or block it. Boom. Boundless power pressed down. The 3 6-star great emperors cried out in pain as they vomited blood. Their bodies cracked and were covered in blood. The 2 peak great emperors were slightly better off, but they were also severely injured. Swoosh! Dandan turned into a phantom and charged forward, unleashing a bloody massacre. After a few screams, the 3 6-star great emperors were killed by Dandan in an instant. No! The Mu clan's patriarch and the others cried out in horror. They couldn't accept such an outcome. Kill! At this moment, Lu Ming roared and launched a violent attack. Although the Mu clan's experts resisted with all their might, the outcome was already decided. Screams were heard continuously. The Mu clan's great emperors died one after another in the hands of Lu Ming. Chapter 2398. Let's go, let's go. In the distance, the Han clan's heavenly emperor, Tianluo great emperor, and the others were almost scared to death. Then, they led their subordinates and turned around to escape from the Mu clan. Lu Ming's strength had far exceeded their imagination. They knew that if they didn't run, they would be the ones to die. Everyone of the Mu clan, let's go! At this moment, the Mu clan's patriarch roared, his voice spreading far and wide. He knew that the Mu clan was finished today. The Mu clan would be removed from the divine fate land. But he didn't want the Mu clan to be destroyed. He wanted the rest of the Mu clan to escape. Patriarch! Someone from the Mu clan cried out in grief. Let's go, let's go! The Mu clan's patriarch roared. But his roar stopped abruptly. This was because Lu Ming's long spear had pierced through his dantian, crippling his cultivation. He let out a mournful cry. His eyes were filled with despair. Let's go! The Mu clan's experts below the great emperor level turned into streaks of light, flying in all directions like countless meteors streaking across the void. You want to leave? Have you asked for my permission? Dandan sneered. He waved his hands, and runes entered the void. Then, countless runes appeared around the Mu clan, forming a light barrier that enveloped the entire Mu clan. A formation. A few days ago, Dandan had quietly set up a formation around the Mu clan. Today, no one would be able to escape. No, seeing the formation, the Hung clan's great emperor, Tianluo great emperor, and the others roared in despair and attacked the light barrier. However, this was a formation that Dandan had spent a few days setting up. With their cultivation base, how could they break it? Their attacks landed on the light barrier, but there wasn't even a trace of ripple on the light barrier. No, no, no! The Mu clan's people roared in madness and attacked crazily. They were filled with despair. Why is this happening? An eminent elder of the Mu clan looked up and sighed. They had only offended a young man of the younger generation, that's all. A young man of the younger generation should be killed. Their Mu clan had existed for so long. Along the way, they had offended countless so-called geniuses and killed countless so-called geniuses. Even though those sky prides were extremely talented, they were still crushed into dust in the face of their strength. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that offending a prodigy this time would send their Mu clan to their doom. In the depths of the sky, at an unknown height, there were two figures standing there. Everything below fell into their eyes. These two people were none other than Hang Xinghe and his master, the Nine Demons' Heavenly Emperor. Master, it seems that Lu Ming brought the world turtle with him. There should be no Sky Emperor with him. Should we make a move now? Stellar River asked. Are you worried about the Hang family? The Nine Devil Celestial Emperor asked. No. Xinghe shook his head and said, I just feel that it's about time. Let's wait and see. The Nine Demons' Heavenly Emperor said, after killing Lu Ming, these people from the Hang family will definitely die too. They will be killed by the Sky Emperor behind Lu Ming. No matter what, they won't be able to live, so you don't have to worry about it. Let's wait and see. Do you understand? This disciple understands. Xinghe bowed and nodded. The two continued to watch. The battle below was nearing its end. Dandan intervened and killed several 5-star great emperors from the Mu clan with a few slaps. The remaining great emperors were all killed by Lu Ming. None of the Mu clan's great emperors were left alive. This scene was truly shocking. The spectators all felt their hearts beating wildly, unable to calm down. The Mu clan had dominated the Aeon City for countless years. Even in the divine Fate Land, they were considered a top force. All of their great emperors were killed by a young man just like that. The world was really unpredictable. The Xian clan's eminent elders, Xian Lin and Dongfang Xueqi, were drenched in cold sweat. Their faces were pale and they were terrified. If they hadn't held back and attacked Lu Ming, the Xian clan would have been destroyed. Bam! Bam! With a long spear in his hand, Lu Ming walked step by step toward the great emperors of the Hang family, He family, and Tianluo family. Lu Ming, don't kill us. Xinghe already has a Sky Emperor as his master. If you destroy our Hang family, Xinghe won't let you go. Hang family's great emperor shouted. You're still threatening me at this time. How foolish. I will kill Xinghe with my own hands in the future. Lu Ming said coldly as his footsteps quickened. Hung family's great emperor and the others were in despair. They kept retreating, but they were blocked by the array. I won't attack unless I'm attacked. I didn't provoke you from the beginning. Everything is your own fault. Today, let's end it all. Kill. Lu Ming roared and stabbed out with his spear. Puff. The spear pierced Tianluo Great Emperor's forehead, killing him in the air. No, Hung family's great emperor and He family's great emperor were terrified. They flew to the sides, but Lu Ming stabbed out 2 more times. The 2 of them followed in Tianluo Great Emperor's footsteps and were killed by Lu Ming. Kill, kill, kill. Then, Lu Ming attacked crazily. He didn't show any mercy and turned into a killing machine. Endless spear radiance burst out from his hand and rushed towards the remaining experts from Mu family, Daluo Heaven sect, and He family. Lu Ming was only merciful to the Heng family. That was because of Heng Yu Heavenly Emperor. Heng family was the descendant of Heng Yu Heavenly Emperor after all. Heng Yu Heavenly Emperor had helped Lu Ming a lot. Lu Ming didn't want to exterminate Heng family. Lu Ming only killed a few higher-ups from Heng family. Lu Ming didn't kill the rest. However, Lu Ming showed no mercy to Mu family, He family, and Daluo Heaven sect. All the people above the martial emperor realm were killed by Lu Ming. For a time, this area was filled with blood qi. It was like hell on earth. Heng family, for the sake of Heng Yu Heavenly Emperor, I won't exterminate you. Get out. Lu Ming looked at the remaining people from Heng family. Go, go. The remaining people from Heng family rushed in one direction. Dandan waved his hand, and the formation automatically separated. It didn't stop them. I, Lu Ming, don't want to kill more people below the martial emperor realm. If you want revenge in the future, come to me. Get out. Finally, Lu Ming looked at those people below the martial emperor realm. Those people fled in all directions as if they had been granted amnesty. Soon, there was no one left in the big Mu family. The Mu family, which dominated Aeon City, was destroyed. It was destroyed by a young man. Dandan, Bubbles, Autumn Moon, let's go. Lu Ming said and turned away. He didn't want to kill more people. However, in this world, things didn't always go as you wished. There were bound to be some obstacles if you wanted to reach the top. This guy is still too soft-hearted. Dandan curled his lips and followed Lu Ming out. But at this moment, Dandan's face changed dramatically and he looked into the depths of the sky. Chapter 2399. Lu Ming felt a terrifying sense of danger. This sense of danger came from the depths of the sky dome. Swoosh! At this moment, a sword light shone from the depths of the sky. The light of this sword light was dozens of times brighter than the sun. It illuminated heaven and earth, and a vast pressure of the heavenly Tao filled the air. Everyone felt a great terror in their hearts. Sky Emperor. There is indeed a Sky Emperor behind this. Who is it? Lu Ming's mind was racing. After he destroyed the Mu clan, he thought it was the Mu clan, the Heng clan, the He clan, and the Daluo Heaven sect behind this. He thought it was over. However, when the sword light appeared, Lu Ming knew it was not over yet. There was still a Sky Emperor realm expert hiding behind the scenes and only struck at the last moment. Cautious. The Sky Emperor was extremely cautious. Even when he struck at the last moment, he struck from a distance. Don't even think about it. At this moment, Dandan shouted. Countless runes were emitted from his body. Around the Mu clan, the array appeared again, forming a ray of light that shrouded the area. Then, Dandan waved his hand. Pieces of turtle shells appeared out of thin air, blocking the sword light from piercing towards Lu Ming. The great spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand. Puff! At this moment, the sword light had arrived. The array set up by Dandan had amazing defensive power. However, when the sword light pierced the light screen shook violently and was pierced through. The sword light pierced through the light screen and bombarded the layers of turtle shells set up by Dandan. Bam! 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 The turtle shells set up by Dandan exploded continuously. A terrifying force swept out in all directions. In the end, Dandan groaned. His body flew far away and he spat out a mouthful of blood. However, after Dandan's continuous obstruction, the power of the sword light had been greatly weakened. However, it did not stop and continued to attack Lu Ming. Block it! Lu Ming roared and revealed a crazed look. All 17 types of laws erupted and covered the great desolate spear. Then, Lu Ming stabbed out with all his strength. This spear was Lu Ming's strongest spear. All of his strength erupted at this moment. Clang! The great desolate spear collided with the sword light. Lu Ming immediately felt a terrifying energy rush towards him through the great desolate spear. Wang! The great desolate spear trembled incessantly. Lu Ming was forced back. His arms and body were covered with sword scars. It was as if he had been struck by hundreds of swords in an instant. But in the end, he managed to block it. Lu Ming circulated the indestructible ancient scripture with all his might. His injuries were rapidly recovering. Deep in the sky. It seems like there really are no other Sky Emperors here. Lu Ming, today, your everything will be mine. Disciple, let's go. The nine-demon heaven emperor's face was filled with ecstasy as he swept up the eternal river and headed downwards. That sword strike just now was just a test. If there was a sky emperor here, he would have fled immediately. However, seeing how Lu Ming and Dandan were resisting with all their might, he concluded that there was no sky emperor by Lu Ming's side. Not far in front of Lu Ming, a light flashed and two figures appeared out of thin air. Hung Xinghe, Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor. It's you. Seeing Hung Xinghe and the Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. It seemed like the person behind this was the Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor. He did not let Tu Yi and Lei Yi come out just now because he wanted to lure them out. Lu Ming, you killed the innocent. Today, my master will enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. Hung Xinghe shouted. He, enforcing justice on behalf of the heavens? Don't make it sound so dignified. Hung Xinghe, I underestimated you in the past. You're really inhumane. You even wanted to use the Heng family. Moreover, you didn't do anything when the Heng family was destroyed. Lu Ming sneered coldly. Lu Ming, you're a sensible person. Take out everything you have, remember, everything, and this old man will give you a quick death. The Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor spoke, and his aura spread out. A Sky Emperor could borrow the power of the Heavenly Tao. That aura was too terrifying, as if the Heavenly Tao was pressing down on them. Everyone in Aeon City paled, feeling the terrifying pressure. Sky Emperor, oh heavens, it's a Sky Emperor. There's actually a Sky Emperor behind this. Lu Ming is finished, he actually offended a Sky Emperor. Many people screamed in their hearts, but no one dared to speak out, afraid of offending a Sky Emperor. In the eyes of everyone in Aeon City, a Sky Emperor was a supreme existence. With a single thought, they could turn 1,000,000 corpses into a river of blood. Now, there was actually a Sky Emperor who wanted to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming was dead for sure. Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor. Looks like you're coveting the treasures on me. It's easy for you to kill me, but if this matter gets out, you won't have a place to hide. Lu Ming said with a calm expression. Haha, the world is so big. When the time comes, who can find me if I just hide? The Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor laughed loudly, looking at the great spear in Lu Ming's hand, full of blazing flames, full of greed. Want my treasure? Come and take it yourself. Want me to hand it over? That's impossible. Lu Ming said, deliberately retreating slowly, resisting stubbornly, dragging out your hunger. The Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor said coldly. His figure swayed, pouncing towards Lu Ming. Fast, too fast. How astonishing was the speed of a Sky Emperor. It was unbelievably fast. Before everyone could react, he had already arrived in front of Lu Ming. His claws were like hooks, grabbing towards Lu Ming's glabella. With such speed, Lu Ming couldn't dodge even if he wanted to. However, Lu Ming had no intention of dodging at all. Lu Ming stood there calmly, allowing the other party to grab at him. Lu Ming is dead for sure. Many people had such a thought in their minds. But at this moment, Lu Ming suddenly had an extra arm. A khaki-colored arm directly blasted out from Lu Ming's body, blasting towards the Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor's claws. It really looked like Lu Ming had an extra arm out of thin air. Boom! There was a deafening explosion, and the Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor's body shook violently. He couldn't help but retreat 100 miles. A figure also appeared on Lu Ming's body. It was a khaki-colored figure with a burly figure and a mountain-like aura. It was Tu Yi. Chaos Hole Tu Yi. The Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor's face was extremely ugly. 9 demons. Looks like you're tired of living, to dare have designs on my Chaos Hole's young lord. Tu Yi opened his mouth coldly, his eyes somewhat ferocious. All around, the others were dumbfounded. This unforeseen event exceeded everyone's expectations. Originally thought that Lu Ming was dead for sure, but did not expect that a figure would suddenly appear on Lu Ming's body. Furthermore, this figure was clearly also a Sky Emperor. Behind Lu Ming, there was also a Sky Emperor realm existence. Furthermore, listening to the meaning, this Sky Emperor addressed Lu Ming as young lord and listened to Lu Ming's orders. The Nine-Demon Heaven Emperor's expression was extremely ugly. But Hung Xinghe's expression was even uglier. Damn it! How is this possible? Hung Xinghe roared angrily in his heart. They already probed several times and were virtually certain that Lu Ming did not have a Sky Emperor following by his side. They did not expect that Lu Ming still had a Sky Emperor by his side. Chapter 2400. Let's go! The nine-demon Heavenly the Arch shouted as a surge of energy swept across Xueqi, forcing him to retreat. With 2E out, he knew that he couldn't do anything to Lu Ming, so he had to retreat. Staying alive was the most important thing. It's too late to leave now. A cold voice was heard, followed by a flash of lightning. A figure appeared behind the nine-demon Heavenly the Arch. The figure was covered with lightning. It was Lei Yi. The nine-demon Heavenly the Arch stopped in his tracks as his face darkened. Beside Lu Ming were Lei Yi and 2E. There were 2 Heavenly Thearchs. With 2 Heavenly Thearchs surrounding him, he was in danger. A look of despair appeared on Xinghe's face. Lu Ming, what happened today is a misunderstanding. How about I apologize to you in front of everyone another day? The nine-demon Heavenly the Arch smiled flatteringly. Misunderstanding? Kill him. Lu Ming spoke calmly and gave the order directly. He wouldn't give the nine-demon Heavenly the Arch any chance. The nine-demon Heavenly the Arch must die. Kill! Lei Yi roared as lightning surrounded his body. He threw a punch at the nine-demon Heavenly the Arch. Lu Ming, look who's dead. The nine-demon Heavenly Thearch's eyes were ferocious as he charged at Lu Ming with Xueqi. 2E stepped out and threw a punch at the nine-demon Heavenly the Arch. However, the nine-demon Heavenly the Arch waved his hand and threw Xueqi at 2E. Master! Xueqi screamed in desperation. Rest in peace. I'll avenge you. The nine-demon Heavenly Thearch's cold voice rang in Xueqi's ears. Ugh! Xueqi screamed in agony as his body was crushed into dust by 2Yi's terrifying punch. He couldn't fight back at all. Seizing this opportunity, the nine demons Heavenly the Arch dashed toward Lu Ming in a flash. He wanted to take down Lu Ming and use Lu Ming as a hostage to escape. He wanted to get all the resources from Lu Ming, such as the indestructible ancient scripture. You're courting death. 2E roared as a meteor hammer appeared in his hand. With a swing, the meteor hammer shot towards nine-demon Sky Emperor like a meteor. Its speed was unbelievably fast, and it emitted a terrifying heavenly Tao pressure. The nine-demon Sky Emperor's pupils contracted rapidly as he let out a desperate roar. Heavenly Tao soldier. This meteor hammer was naturally the heavenly Tao weapon that Lu Ming had given to 2E. The meteor hammer's speed was unbelievably fast. It caught up to the nine-demon Sky Emperor in an instant. He had no time to attack Lu Ming and could only turn around to defend. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A long sword appeared in the nine-demon Sky Emperor's hand. In an instant, he stabbed out hundreds of times. Hundreds of sword lights converged into one sword and blasted towards the meteor hammer. But it was useless. He could not block it at all. 2E was already stronger than the nine-demon Heavenly Emperor, and with the addition of the heavenly Tao weapon, his battle prowess was far above the nine-demon Heavenly Emperor's. Boom! With a loud boom, the meteor hammer smashed through the nine-demon Celestial Emperor's sword light with an unstoppable momentum and continued on its way to him. At this critical moment, the nine-demon Heavenly Emperor could only block it with his battle sword. But when the meteor hammer landed on the battle sword, the top-grade Great Emperor weapon exploded. The terrifying force slammed heavily onto the nine-demon Heavenly Emperor's body. The nine-demon Heavenly Emperor screamed as his body was sent flying. His body was split into 2. Although he was not dead, he was severely injured. His aura was weak and his face was pale. After being hit by the Heavenly Tao soldier, the nine-demon Heavenly Emperor's strength was reduced to less than 10%. Lu Ming, I surrender. Don't kill me. I can acknowledge you as my master and serve you. The nine-demon Heavenly Emperor screamed in fear. He was truly afraid now. He stood no chance against 2E, who had the Heavenly Tao soldier. He would definitely be killed. It was the first time in countless years that he felt such fear. Not interested. Kill. Lu Ming said coldly. Die. 2E roared ferociously as the meteor hammer smashed towards the nine-demon Heavenly Emperor. Lu Ming, you will die a horrible death. Arg. The nine-demon Heavenly Emperor screamed hysterically. He used all his means to escape, but it was useless. Under the attack of the Heavenly Tao soldier, all his means were superfluous. Bam! The nine-demon Heavenly Emperor's body exploded in the air. Even his soul was turned into ashes under the attack of the Heavenly Tao soldier. The nine-demon Heavenly Emperor, a Heavenly Emperor, died just like that. At this moment, the surrounding crowd was numb. They could not make a sound. They were stunned as they looked at Lu Ming. A heavenly emperor was dead. A heavenly emperor was killed by Lu Ming's subordinates. This scene was too impactful, too shocking. A heavenly emperor was a legendary figure in the Yuan realm. They were supreme beings who would never face a heavenly tribulation. They had an endless lifespan, the same lifespan as the heavens and earth. Their combat strength was boundless. It was extremely difficult to meet such a figure. But now, one of them had fallen in front of them. Moreover, it was because of a young man. Young master, that guy's storage ring. Xueqi flew back and handed a storage ring to Lu Ming. It was left behind by the 9-demon heavenly emperor. Lu Ming nodded and kept the storage ring. Let's go, Lu Ming said and was about to leave. Young hero Lu Ming, please wait. At this moment, a voice sounded. Lu Ming was slightly stunned. He stopped and turned around. 5 to 6 figures walked over. Lu Ming recognized 2 of them. They were Dongfeng Xueyu and Xian Lin. What? Is the Xian family trying to find trouble with me? Lu Ming said coldly. Xian Lin, Dongfeng Xueyu, and a few elders of the Xian family shuddered. An elder with a face full of wrinkles was full of smiles. He cupped his fists and said, Young brother Lu Ming, you must be joking. How would we dare to fight with you? We're here to apologize. Xian Lin, Dongfeng Xueyu, hurry up and apologize to young brother Lu Ming. In the end, the elder looked coldly at Xian Lin and Dongfeng Xueyu. Just now, they saw the Mu family being annihilated. In the end, even a celestial emperor was killed. They were almost scared to death. They were afraid that Lu Ming would attack the Xian family because of Xian Lin. If that happened, the Xian family would definitely perish. So when they saw that Lu Ming was about to leave, they hurriedly came out and apologized to Lu Ming. Xian Lin and Dongfeng Xueyu stepped forward with pale faces. They clasped their fists and bowed. We were blind before and offended you. Please forgive us and don't stoop to our level. Lu Ming did not comment. He waved his hand casually and walked away without saying anything. Autumn Moon, Bubbles, Dandan, Xueqi, and Lei Yi followed Lu Ming and disappeared without a trace. Chapter 2401. However, Lu Ming didn't take the Xian family's matter to heart at all. Now, his enemies in the primordial realm had basically been eliminated by him. He could almost be at ease. Next, Lu Ming still had 2 things to do. The first was to deal with the Death Kingdom. The second was the matter of the Hunyuan sect's inheritors. Back then, he passed the Hunyuan sect's assessment and obtained the position of the Hunyuan sect's gold inheritor. At that time, he obtained a list. That list recorded the inheritors of the Hunyuan sect since ancient times, such as the silver inheritors and the bronze inheritors. According to the rules, these inheritors had to obey Lu Ming. However, in the past, Lu Ming didn't dare to rely on his status as a gold inheritor to go and order these people, because most of these people were now martial emperors. Among them, there were even true emperors and great emperors. With Lu Ming's previous strength, if he went to these people, he would probably be slapped to death by them. But now he could. Lu Ming planned to subdue all these people first, then get rid of the Death Kingdom. However, to subdue those people, he needed to wait until the news of the Aeon City spread. That way, it would be much more convenient to do it. Lu Ming and the others stayed in the Aeon City. News of the battle in the Aeon City spread like a hurricane. Not only did it spread in the Divine Fate Land, but it also spread to other regions. For a time, a magnitude 12 earthquake occurred in the primordial realm. Lu Ming returned with a strong force and destroyed the overlord of the Aeon City, the Mu family, in one fell swoop. He killed all the experts of the Mu family and displayed a terrifying combat strength. But the most shocking thing was that in the end, a heavenly emperor figure wanted to kill Lu Ming, but he was easily killed by Lu Ming's subordinates. Lu Ming's subordinates actually had a terrifying heavenly emperor figure. Everyone who heard this news was violently shocked. They knew that Lu Ming had risen against the heavens. Back then, Lu Ming was asserted by a heavenly emperor that he would never become an emperor in this life. Many people called him trash. But how many years had it been? Lu Ming rose to power. His battle prowess was terrifyingly strong. He killed more than a dozen great emperors from the Mu clan alone. That was more than 10 great emperors. What kind of battle record was that? It was simply frightening. What was even more terrifying was that Lu Ming still had the Celestial the Arch as his subordinate. When people heard this, they were dumbfounded and speechless. Everyone knew that an invincible figure had risen with an unstoppable momentum. Time passed quickly, and a month passed in the blink of an eye. Over the past month, the entire Yuan continent had been talking about Lu Ming. It's time. The first one is the Lu family. They happen to be in Aeon City. In an inn in Aeon City, the corners of Lu Ming's mouth curled into a smile. Then, he led Dandan and the others in a certain direction. The Lu family was a powerful force in Aeon City. Their strength was not any weaker than the Xian family. According to the Hunyuan sex list, the ancestor of the Lu family was the inheritor of the Hunyuan sect. Furthermore, he was a silver inheritor. The Lu family was considered one of the strongest forces among the inheritors of the Hunyuan sect. As soon as Lu Ming moved, those who had been paying attention to Lu Ming immediately knew about it. Immediately, countless people followed Lu Ming from afar. Where is Lu Ming going? This direction seems to be the direction of the Lu family. Could it be that Lu Ming is going to the Lu family? Many people secretly guessed. Now it could be said that Lu Ming's every move was affecting people's hearts. The Lu family had also received the news early. The entire upper echelon of the Lu family was alarmed. Some of the Lu family's founding members who were in seclusion came out one after another. The Lu family fell into a tense atmosphere. Lu Ming was coming to the Lu family? What for? Could it be that someone in the Lu family had offended Lu Ming? The upper echelons of the Lu family were extremely anxious. Lu Ming's speed was neither fast nor slow. Soon, he arrived at the Lu family. As soon as Lu Ming arrived, a large group of figures flew out of the Lu family. Some of the leaders were white-haired old men. They were all experts of the Lu family, and there were more than a dozen great emperors. Little brother Lu Ming, we're honored by your presence. Sorry for not coming out to meet you. The Lu family head stepped forward and cupped his fists repeatedly with a smile on his face. He was very polite. Not to mention other things, Lu Ming's strength alone was worthy of him being polite. Now, no one would treat Lu Ming as a young junior. Instead, they would treat him as a powerful emperor with unfathomable abilities. You're welcome. Lu Ming cupped his fists casually. I wonder what brings little brother Lu Ming to my Lu family? The Lu family head asked tentatively. I want to see Lu Gao. Lu Ming said bluntly. Lu Gao was the ancestor of the Lu family. You want to see the ancestor? The Lu family head's expression changed. Why, I can't? Lu Ming said. Of course you can. However, the ancestor is in seclusion. We can inform him. Little brother Lu Ming can come in and have a seat first. How about it? The Lu family head said. All right. Lu Ming nodded and followed the Lu family's people into the Lu family's residence. The Lu family head immediately served delicious wine and delicacies. Lu Ming smiled slightly. This was the change brought about by strength. If he didn't have the battle with the Mu family and didn't have the reputation and strength, Lu Ming would probably be slapped to death by the Lu family's experts if he rashly went to the Lu family and asked to see their ancestor. But now, the other party wanted to serve him politely. He just had to wait. Lu Ming, Autumn Moon, and the others chatted while waiting. They didn't have to wait for too long. The Lu family head and the others followed an old man with a face full of wrinkles. I'm Lu Gao. Greetings, little brother Lu. The old man greeted with a smile as soon as he arrived. This old man was the ancestor of the Lu family, Lu Gao. He was also the silver successor of the Hunyuan sect. Obviously, he had heard about Lu Ming, which was why he was so polite. Senior, you're too polite. Lu Ming also smiled slightly. Little brother Lu Ming, why are you looking for me? Lu Gao asked with a puzzled look in his eyes. Senior, do you remember what this is? A token appeared in Lu Ming's hand. This token was the gold successor token of the Hunyuan sect. Seeing this token, Lu Gao's expression suddenly changed and he blurted out. The gold successor of the Hunyuan sect. Senior, do you still remember the oath back then? Lu Ming asked with a smile. Lu Gao's expression changed rapidly. With his cultivation, the oath back then couldn't restrain him at all. He could completely break free from the shackles of the oath. However, the person in front of him was Lu Ming, an unparalleled genius who had just annihilated the Mu family. Moreover, Behind him stood several terrifying celestial emperors. He had to be cautious. Lu Gao naturally remembers the oath back then. After saying that, Lu Gao moved and a token appeared in his hand. It was the silver successor token of the Han Yuan sect. Lu Ming didn't say anything and waited for Lu Gao to continue. Chapter 2402. I sensed the appearance of a gold inheritor decades ago, but I didn't expect it to be you. I'm Lu Gao. Greetings, young master. After that, Lu Gao cupped his fists and bowed deeply to Lu Ming. On the side, the Lu family head and the others were dumbfounded. Senior, there's no need to be so polite. Please rise. Lu Ming smiled. Lu Gao's action was equivalent to surrendering to Lu Ming. What are you waiting for? Bow to the young master. From now on, the Lu family will follow the young master's lead. If the young master has any orders in the future, the Lu family will follow him to death. Lu Gao looked at the Lu family head and the others. So it's the gold inheritor of the Han Yuan sect. The Lu family's upper echelons had already guessed what was going on. They looked at each other and then bowed to Lu Ming. If an ordinary genius came with the Han Yuan sect's gold inheritor token, they would have driven him out even if they didn't kill him on the spot. However, Lu Ming was different. Lu Ming's talent was too amazing. Now that his strength was unparalleled, his future was limitless. It was not impossible for the Lu family to submit to Lu Ming. Everyone please rise. Lu Ming hurriedly helped the Lu family's upper echelons up. Since the other party was willing to submit to him, it was natural that they had taken a fancy to his strength and potential. Naturally, he would not put on an overbearing appearance. Just remember this. I still have to go somewhere else. Goodbye. After saying that, Lu Ming directly stepped into the air and left. After Lu Ming and the others came out, many people were speculating. They didn't know what happened to Lu Ming in the Lu family. Lu Ming didn't stay. Soon, he left Aeon City and went to his next target. Tianwen sect, a huge force in the Divine Land. Its strength was not inferior to the Lu family. An ancestor of the Tianwen sect was also a silver inheritor of the Han Yuan sect. After Lu Ming's arrival, everyone in the Tianwen sect was polite. This trip was also very successful. The patriarch of the Tianwen sect was willing to submit. The main reason was that he had killed a heavenly emperor in the Battle of Aeon City. This was too much of a deterrent. Those sects and forces did not dare to resist at all. If Lu Ming wanted to destroy them in a fit of anger, they would not be able to resist. Following that, Lu Ming went to one force after another according to the list. There were both big and small powers, and they were not limited to the Divine Fate Land. There were also other regions. Lu Ming used a full 3 months to visit all of these forces. In the past 3 months, Lu Ming had almost traveled all over the Yuan continent. None of those forces dared to rebel. They all obediently submitted. This way, Lu Ming's invisible power was already extremely terrifying. It spread throughout the Yuan continent. At that time, as long as Lu Ming waved his arm, experts would gather and shake the world. After settling these matters, Lu Ming returned to Celestial City and asked Autumn Moon to stay in Celestial City. It's time to get rid of the Nation of Death. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. He would not be at ease if he did not get rid of this force. At that moment, he brought Dandan, Bubbles, Xueqi, and Lei back to the Divine Fate Land. After arriving at the Divine Fate Land, Lu Ming followed the memories of the Nation of Death's assassin and headed towards a barren place. Here, they found a remote teleportation formation. Through this teleportation formation, they arrived at a hidden cave. However, this was far from their destination. They left the cave and went to a secluded place tens of thousands of miles away. They found another teleportation formation and teleported away. Just like that, they were teleported 9 times. After the 9th teleportation, they finally arrived at their destination. Below the ground, a huge plaza suddenly emitted a dazzling light. Lu Ming, Dandan, Bubbles, Xueqi, and Lei appeared. Who are you people? As soon as Lu Ming and the rest appeared, they heard a cold shout. Lu Ming looked around and saw a few figures around the plaza. They were looking at them in shock. We are the ones who will kill you, Lu Ming said coldly and threw out a punch. These few people had just entered the martial emperor realm. How could they block Lu Ming's punch? They were directly smashed into pieces. What a huge city! Lu Ming and the rest looked ahead. In front of them, a huge city stood there. The city walls were inlaid with glowing stones, giving the place some light. This ancient city was underground. It was the ancient city in the Nation of Death's assassins' memories, the headquarters of the Nation of Death. The place where they were now was a plaza in front of the ancient city's gate. Enemy attack! At that moment, a sharp cry came from the ancient city, startling the entire city. Swoosh! 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 In the ancient city, there were constantly black shadows flashing. They were all assassins from the Nation of Death. Today, we will destroy the Nation of Death. Lu Ming took the lead and stepped forward. The group moved quickly and approached the ancient city in an instant. There were no defensive arrays in the ancient city. The Nation of Death had never been found in the countless years. Naturally, there was no need for any defensive arrays. They easily passed through the city walls. Kill! Kill them! As soon as they entered the ancient city, sharp sword glows stabbed at them from all directions. However, these sword lights all stopped halfway. Bubbles used the space-time law to freeze them in the air. Return! Bubbles waved his small hand and these sword lights shot back at an even faster speed than before. Puff! 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 Blood splattered and miserable screams filled the air. Dozens of black-clothed assassins died on the spot, stabbed to death by their own sword lights. However, in the ancient city, black shadows flashed and more assassins rushed over. Lu Ming's body emitted 17 different kinds of light. These lights condensed into spear lights that shot out in all directions. At the same time, Bubbles and Dandan also attacked. Attacks shot out in all directions. Puff! Puff! The black-clothed assassins were killed continuously. Their corpses fell to the ground like raindrops. The strongest among these assassins was only a true emperor. Naturally, they were not a match for Bubbles and were killed in large numbers. Xueqi and Lei Yi did not attack. They were brought here as a precaution. There was no need for them to take care of these assassins. They moved forward like tigers in a flock of sheep. The assassins in black were killed by them continuously. They continued to advance towards the center of the city. Retreat! A voice came from the center of the city. In an instant, the black-clothed assassins retreated rapidly and disappeared without a trace. However, there was a terrifying killing intent in the center of the city. 1, 2, 3. There were more than 30 auras, and every one of them was extremely terrifying. Every one of them emitted an extremely cold murderous intent. Great Emperors. These auras belong to great emperors. Chapter 2403. Swoosh! Swoosh! In the depths of the Death God Nation's ancient city, there were more than 30 great emperors. Lu Ming! When they saw Lu Ming's appearance, someone exclaimed. The martial monarchs came to a stop. Their eyes were filled with terror. They did not expect Lu Ming to be the one who made it here. The Death God Nation naturally knew about the battle in Aeon City. They did not expect Lu Ming to find the headquarters of the Death God Nation. They looked at Xueqi and Lei Yi who were behind Lu Ming and were even more terrified. Retreat! Get out of here! One of them shouted and retreated quickly. There were heavenly emperors around Lu Ming. How were they going to fight? They would die if they went up to fight. Now, they only wanted to escape from here. Senior Xueqi, Senior Lei Yi, sorry to trouble you. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Xueqi and Lei Yi. There were so many great emperors. If he wanted to kill them all, he could only ask Xueqi and Lei Yi for help. I can do it alone. Lei Yi was the first to speak. He then turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed out. Xueqi smiled and did not make a move. Zzz. After Lei Yi rushed out, the sky was suddenly filled with endless lightning. Bolts of lightning that were thicker than an arm covered the sky like a spider web and blasted towards the 30 great emperors. These bolts of lightning were not ordinary bolts of lightning. They were superpowers that Lei Yi condensed with the heavenly Tao. Bam! Bam! Those great emperors were struck by the lightning. They did not even have time to scream before they were blasted into ashes. Ordinary great emperors would be killed instantly when facing a heavenly emperor. More than 30 great emperor realm assassins were slaughtered in an instant. All of you die. Lei Yi did not stop there. He waved his hand and a ball of lightning appeared in the sky. This ball of lightning floated in the sky above the ancient city. It then exploded and turned into countless bolts of lightning. They were like raindrops as they blasted towards the assassins in the ancient city. Bam! 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 In an instant, countless assassins in the ancient city were killed by the lightning and turned into ashes. It was unknown how many assassins there were in the headquarters of the Grim Reaper Nation, but at this moment, almost all of them were wiped out. And, at this moment, a cold light flashed in Lei Yi's eyes as he headed towards the depths of the ancient city. Lu Ming and the others quickly followed. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the depths of the ancient city, 7 or 8 figures were moving rapidly in another direction at an incredible speed. Peak Great Emperor. Lu Ming's heart trembled. These 7 to 8 figures were all Peak Great Emperors. The Death Kingdom's strength was truly terrifying. One should know that a great force like the Mu clan only had 2 Peak Great Emperors. In Death Kingdom, there were a total of 8 Peak Great Emperors. Moreover, their speed was astonishing. If only Lu Ming and Dandan were here, they probably wouldn't be able to stop them. But now with 2E, Lei Yi, and the others, it was different. You still want to run in front of me? Lei Yi sneered and took a step forward. His figure directly turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed out. In an instant, he caught up with the other party. Sizzle! Lightning filled Lei Yi's hand, forming a lightning spear that pierced out. Quickly destroy that crystal pagoda. At this moment, one of the 8 people shouted. Bam! In the next moment, the 8 people were pierced by the lightning spear. Although the 8 of them were Peak Great Emperors, they were completely useless in the face of the Heavenly Thearka's attack. Ah! A few of them actually let out ear-piercing screams. A black shadow was violently twisting in their bodies. There was actually a third eye in between the eyebrows of this black shadow. Evil God Tribe. Seeing this black shadow, Lu Ming was shocked. In an instant, he thought of many things. Back then, the Evil Spirit Sect and the Demon Spirit Sect were also founded by the Evil God Tribe. Obviously, the Death Kingdom was the same as the Evil Spirit Sect and the Demon Spirit Sect. They were all founded by the Evil God Tribe. No wonder they often assassinated the experts and geniuses of the primordial realm. Those figures twisted a few times, then turned into ashes and dissipated. Crystal Pagoda. In the next moment, Lu Ming thought of the Crystal Pagoda. Before that Evil God Tribe expert died, he shouted, "Quickly destroy that Crystal Pagoda." Since an Evil God Tribe expert was still thinking about it, that Crystal Pagoda must be very important. Find that Crystal Pagoda. Lu Ming shouted. Found it. Bubbles spoke. Then, she waved her hands, and a space-time tunnel appeared in the air. On the other side of the space-time tunnel, there was a crystal pagoda that was about 3 meters tall. It was sparkling and covered with all kinds of runes. And 2 black-clothed assassins were rushing toward the crystal pagoda. Obviously, they wanted to destroy the crystal pagoda. Don't even think about it in front of me. Sizzle! Lei Yi directly rushed through the space-time tunnel. 2 bolts of lightning burst out and killed the 2 black-clothed assassins. Then, Lu Ming, Dandan, Bubbles, and 2E also rushed through the space-time tunnel and arrived at the Crystal Pagoda. The Crystal Pagoda was densely covered with runes, dazzling and colorful. What is this? Lu Ming looked at it carefully and was a little puzzled. Could it be the array foundation of a great array? So it's this kind of thing. Dandan touched his chin and looked like he was in deep thought. Dandan, do you know what this is? Lu Ming asked curiously. Of course I know. This is the oldest kind of message transmission tool. It's almost lost now. It seems like the Evil God Tribe still has this kind of message transmission tool. Dandan said. Message transmission tool? Lu Ming's eyes lit up and said, Dandan, can you decipher the message inside? The message transmission tool of the Evil God Tribe. For the Evil God Tribe to value it so much, there might be some incredible news inside. Young master, I'll go and get rid of the remaining assassins. Lei Yi's figure swayed and left. As for Dandan, he started to wander around the crystal pagoda and started to study it. After a while, Lei Yi returned. Obviously, he had gotten rid of all the assassins and even brought back all the storage rings of the assassins. This was an incomparably huge harvest. The Death God Nation had been accumulating resources for so many years. Now, all of them belonged to Lu Ming. Lu Ming kept all of them. If the Dragon Alliance wanted to develop in the future, they would definitely need a huge amount of resources. The more they accumulated now, the better. Dandan continued to study. After a few hours, Dandan started to take action. Runes entered the crystal pagoda one after another. Open. After Dandan circled the crystal pagoda 360 times, he bellowed and took a step forward. Countless runes covered the crystal pagoda. Buzz! A buzzing sound came from the crystal pagoda. The top of the crystal pagoda shone brightly. Then, streams of information spread out from the crystal pagoda. It was very strange. They stood at the side of the crystal pagoda and could clearly see the information. In fact, there were even images that appeared. This is, when Lu Ming came into contact with some of the information, his eyes widened and he was shocked. Chapter 2404. Lu Ming was shocked when he saw some of the information and pictures in the crystal pagoda. Not only Lu Ming, but Dandan, Bubbles, Xueqi, and Lei Yi were also shocked and in disbelief. From the information in the crystal pagoda, they understood that the other tribes wanted to open a huge passageway to the primordial realm. Yes, the other tribes had been carrying out this plan for many years. A picture appeared in the crystal pagoda. In this picture, there was an unknown region where countless alien races were gathered. They were setting up a massive array formation, and the foundation of this array formation was some white bones. With these white bones as the foundation, a huge passageway was opened. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Seeing this picture, Bubbles kept crying out. She appeared to be very indignant, anxious, and furious. The bones of a space-time spirit mouse. Damn it. The other tribes obtained the bones of the previous generation of space-time spirit mice and used them to open a passageway. Dandan also roared angrily. The bones of a space-time spirit mouse. Lu Ming understood everything. It seemed that after the death of the previous generation of space-time spirit mice, their corpses fell into the hands of the other tribes. Space-time spirit mice could control space-time and use space-time to the extreme. Every drop of blood and hair on their bodies were related to space-time. The other tribes used the bones of the space-time spirit mice to set up a large formation. It was indeed possible to open a huge and stable passageway in the boundless void that could allow a large number of other tribes to pass through. And the destination of this passageway was the primordial realm. Where is it? Lu Ming became anxious and continued to read the information in the crystal pagoda. Not long after, they made a discovery. On a huge island, there were black-robed figures flashing. In the sky, there was a huge vortex. Obviously, the people from the Nation of Death were cooperating with the evil god tribe to open a passageway in the primordial realm. It's overseas. Not long after, they finally arrived at the specific location. It was not on the primordial realm, but overseas. This crystal pagoda actually hid such a secret. No wonder that other tribe member wanted to destroy it even when he was dying. Lu Ming and the others were secretly scared. If the other tribes opened this passageway and invaded, the primordial realm would be finished. Once the primordial realm was destroyed, the Grand Clarity Celestial Domain would also be in danger. After carefully examining the information in the crystal pagoda, they finally stopped. Let's go. Let's kill the people from the Death God Nation first. Then, we'll inform the experts of the Heaven Realm and have them send people to guard that place. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. He was secretly afraid. Fortunately, they found out. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Kill, we must kill them, chirp chirp. Bubble also cried out, waving his arms and legs with a ferocious look. The previous generation's space-time spirit mouse was equivalent to Bubble's mother. But now, after her death, her bones were being used by the outsiders to torment her. It would be strange if she wasn't filled with killing intent. Once the plan was set, they immediately left the place and flew towards the north. According to the information they had gathered, the destination of the other tribe's passageway was the boundless sea to the north of Yuanlu. That place, like the divine wilderness continent, was known as the Barren Land. However, that place wasn't as remote as the divine wilderness continent, and it wasn't as far from Yuanlu as the divine wilderness continent. Xueqi and Lei Yi led Lu Ming, Dandan, and Bubble to the north of Yuanlu. With their heavenly emperor realm cultivation, their speed was simply too fast. Not long after, they left the Yuan continent and arrived at the boundless ocean. They followed the sea and headed north. 2 days later, they finally approached their destination. There was a huge island in front of them. Rather than calling it an island, it was better to call it a continent. A continent like the divine wilderness continent. Its surface area was even bigger than the divine wilderness continent. However, compared to Yuanlu, it was like an island. Above the island, a huge vortex was suspended there, enveloping the entire island. It could be seen that once the passageway was opened, it would be huge. In an instant, countless evil god tribe members would rush in. From afar, they could see shadows flickering on the island. They were all assassins from the Death God Nation. Looking at the situation, that passageway shouldn't have been opened yet. The Death God Nation is cooperating with the evil god tribe to open the passageway as soon as possible. Dandan said softly. Let's attack and kill the people from the Death God Nation first, then destroy the formation here. Lu Ming said. The others nodded. Swoosh, swoosh. They moved. They didn't hide anymore and rushed towards the island. In a few breaths' time, they were close to the island. There's someone. Oh no, we've been discovered. Kill them. Black-clothed men rose from the island. There were more than 1,000 of them and they attacked Lu Ming and the others. Swoosh, swoosh. More than 1,000 sword lights came from all directions and attacked Lu Ming and the others like raindrops. Dang! Lei Yi shouted coldly and struck out with his palm. Endless thunderbolts formed and covered the sky like a spider web. They rushed towards the black-clothed men. Those black-clothed men couldn't resist at all and were killed instantly. From afar, the black-clothed men looked like thousands of mosquitoes that landed on the ground. Kill! Lu Ming shouted coldly and rushed into the island. This island was really huge. It was like a continent. There were countless assassins from the Death God Nation on this island. Obviously, the other creatures on this island had been killed by them long ago. As Lu Ming and the others went deeper into the island, black-clothed men rushed out from all over the island. Humans of the primordial realm. Kill! Suddenly, roars sounded. In the depths of the island, burly figures rushed towards Lu Ming and the others. Their auras were extremely shocking. Great emperors. There were at least dozens of great emperors rushing towards them. The most shocking thing was that these great emperors were actually from the evil god tribe. How could there be so many people from the evil god tribe in the primordial realm? Oh no! That passage might have been torn open a little. That's why some evil god tribe members entered. Dandan's expression changed and became extremely solemn. If that was really the case, then this passage was not far from being completely opened. In an instant, those evil god tribe members had already rushed over. Die for me! The Great Baron's spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand. The Great Baron's spear shook and spear lights flew out, instantly killing several great emperors. At the same time, Xueqi and the others also attacked. With 2 heavenly emperors attacking, the great emperors were no match at all and were constantly killed. However, more figures flew out from the depths of the island. They were all from the evil god tribe. Their numbers were huge and shocking. Judging from their auras, there were more than 100 great emperors. And the number was still increasing. The number of peak great emperors was not small. Kill as many as come. Xueqi's eyes were filled with killing intent. The meteor hammer appeared in his hand and emitted a terrifying aura. Boom! The meteor hammer suddenly blasted out like a planet smashing forward. Chapter 2405. The meteor hammer was a heavenly Dao weapon and was extremely terrifying. Under Xueqi's control, its power was even more shocking. This attack was like an incomparably huge star smashing out. If it hit the ground, this island would be shattered. Heavenly Dao weapon. It's the Heavenly Emperor. Not good. The expressions of those evil god tribe members changed drastically as they retreated rapidly. But how could their speed be faster than the meteor hammer? It looked like the meteor hammer was about to hit them. People of the primordial realm, how dare you kill the experts of my tribe? You're courting death. At this moment, a roar suddenly came from the depths of the island. Then, an incomparably huge palm stretched out from the depths of the island. This palm was covered with pitch-black scales that covered the sky and the sun. It collided with the meteor hammer. Boom! It was like the end of the world. After an extremely violent boom, the meteor hammer actually trembled and was struck back by this palm. As for that palm, it was completely fine. After colliding with the heavenly Dao weapon, there was actually nothing wrong with the palm. Not even a single scale fell off. That palm stretched back, and then a figure suddenly appeared in the sky. This was a member of the evil god tribe, and his entire body was covered with black scales. He looked like an ordinary member of the evil god tribe, but his body shape was very different from ordinary members of the evil god tribe. Ordinary members of the evil god tribe were all tall and burly, but this member of the evil god tribe was about the same as an ordinary person. Moreover, his physique was well proportioned and slender. Other than the scales all over his body and the third eye between his brows, he was no different from a human. However, the aura emitted from his body was extremely terrifying and powerful. Not good. It's a peerless expert. Tu Yi's expression changed drastically as he roared. There was actually a peerless expert here. Only existences above the level of a 4-star heavenly emperor could be called peerless experts. Kill. The peerless expert of the evil god tribe shouted coldly. With a wave of his hand, his palm rapidly enlarged and pressed down on Tu Yi. At the same time, a beam of destructive light burst forth from his third eye. It turned into a destructive battle sword and slashed toward Lu Ming and the others. Tu Yi unleashed his full strength and controlled the meteor hammer to attack. As for Lei Yi, he opened his mouth and a battle sword that shone with lightning flew out. It emitted a terrifying aura and attacked the evil god tribe member. This was Lei Yi's heavenly Dao soldier. The Primal Chaos Palace originally had 2 Heaven Dao soldiers. One was with Lightning One and the other was with Gold One. Boom! Boom! Thunder One and Earth One were blocked by 2 consecutive terrifying explosions. They couldn't do anything to each other. Heavenly Dao soldiers. 2 Heavenly Dao soldiers. Haha, my luck is not bad. They are all mine. The supreme expert of the evil god race laughed uproariously. He unleashed his full strength and attacked Tu One and Lei One. Tu Yi and Lei Yi also unleashed their full strength and engaged in a fierce battle with the other party. However, it was difficult to determine the winner in such a short period of time. The 2 of them were entangled and unable to escape. Young master, leave quickly. Tu Yi roared. This time, it was impossible for them to destroy the other party. Things had gone beyond their expectations. The outsiders had actually managed to tear open a hole in the passageway. Not only were there a large number of experts entering, there was even a supreme expert among them. This peerless powerhouse had the cultivation of a 4-star heavenly emperor. Incomparably powerful. Tu One and Lei One's cultivation were both 2-star heavenly emperors. Even with the heavenly Dao soldiers, the 2 of them could only barely protect themselves against the other party. This was also because the other party didn't have any heavenly Dao soldiers. If the other party also had heavenly Dao soldiers, they would be dead for sure. The only thing they could do now was to delay the other party and let Lu Ming and the rest escape so that they could pass the news to the heaven domain. Tu One, Lei One, Lu Ming roared. Leave quickly. Young master. We must leave. The news here must be spread. Don't worry about us. We have our own ways to escape. Lei One also shouted. Let's go. Lu Ming gritted his teeth and no longer hesitated. He turned around and left. However, at this moment, large groups of evil god tribe members had already surrounded them. Wave after wave of attacks were launched towards them. Kill. Lu Ming's eyes were bloodshot as he continuously swept out his spear. Bang! Bang! The bodies of those who were swept by Lu Ming's long spear exploded, regardless of whether it was a true emperor or a great emperor. Kid die. An abnormally burly evil god race held a battle axe and exchanged a blow with Lu Ming. A terrifying force surged over. Lu Ming's body shook violently and he couldn't help but retreat. Peak Great Emperor. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. With Lu Ming's current battle strength, if he went all out, he could contend against a 6-star Great Emperor. However, he was definitely not a match for a Peak Great Emperor. In addition, Dandan and Bubble had also encountered a strong enemy. Bubble's cultivation had yet to break through to the Great Emperor realm. In such a battle, he wouldn't be of much use. He stood on Lu Ming's shoulder and supported Lu Ming. As for Dandan, he was surrounded by several Peak Great Emperors. However, Dandan's battle strength was extremely strong. He completely suppressed those few Peak Great Emperors and forced them to retreat. Swoosh! Suddenly, Dandan gave up on attacking. His figure flashed as he charged towards Lu Ming's side. With one move, he sent the evil god race member who attacked Lu Ming flying. The evil god race member coughed out blood. Lu Ming, follow me and charge out. Dandan shouted and charged forward. Every time he attacked, it was like a world was blasted out. Even Peak Great Emperors couldn't block it. Bang! Bang! A few Peak Great Emperors were sent flying by Dandan and coughed out blood. Everyone, stop them. Don't let them escape. The evil god race's expert shouted. Kill! Kill them! A large group of evil god race members charged over and charged towards Lu Ming and the others without any regard for their lives. Space time. Bubble waved his small hands continuously, wanting to seal the space-time and block those evil god race members. Unfortunately, Bubble's cultivation was too weak. Those below the Great Emperor level were blocked by him, but those above the Great Emperor level, especially those high-level Great Emperors, Bubble couldn't block them at all. The evil god race members struggled and broke free from Bubble's space-time power. As for those peak Great Emperors, they ignored Bubble's space-time power and charged towards Lu Ming and the others. There were too many of them. Although Dandan's battle strength was strong and could suppress experts of the same level, there were too many of them. Under the constant attacks, Dandan couldn't take it anymore. In just a short while, there were at least 10 peak Great Emperors surrounding Dandan. Their path was blocked and it was difficult for them to charge out. Rumble! At this moment, the whirlpool above the island let out a deafening roar. It was as if someone was attacking the passage with all their might, wanting to break through and come here. Lu Ming and the others became anxious. If there were even stronger evil god race members coming over, they would really be finished. Roar! Dandan roared and transformed into his true form. His attack power was even stronger. Puh! A peak Great Emperor from the evil god race was careless and was hit by Dandan. His body and soul were directly destroyed. However, at the same time, dozens of attacks landed on Dandan's body. These attacks were all from 6-star Great Emperors or even peak Great Emperors. With so many attacks, even though Dandan's defense was shocking, he couldn't take it and was forced to retreat. Chapter 2406. Let's kill the 2 weaker ones first. An evil god tribe member shouted. Instantly, 2 peak Emperor Realm evil god tribe members went around Dandan and charged towards Lu Ming and Bubble. Before they even arrived, 2 terrifying rays of destructive light had already shot towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming unleashed all his strength as 17 types of laws covered his body. His muscles trembled as he swung his great desolation spear. Boom! Boom! The 2 rays of destructive light struck the great desolation spear. The great desolation spear shook violently as the power of laws on it crumbled. The 2 rays of energy surged towards Lu Ming, causing him to spit out large mouthfuls of blood as wounds appeared on his body. Against 2 peak Emperor Realm experts, Lu Ming was no match for them and was injured in one move. Fortunately, Lu Ming's defense was amazing and he was using the indestructible ancient scripture. His injuries were recovering rapidly and it didn't affect his battle strength much. What should I do? Lu Ming thought quickly. With his current strength, he couldn't defeat a peak Emperor Realm expert. The Heavenly Emperor's physical body didn't have much energy stored. If he wanted to deal with a peak Emperor Realm expert, the Heavenly Emperor's physical body had to be at 100% energy or it would be useless. Under such circumstances, even if the Heavenly Emperor's physical body was at 100% energy, it would be useless as there were too many of them. At this moment, there were close to 20 peak Emperor Realm experts and there were even more Emperor Realm experts of other realms. In the depths of the island, there were still foreign races rushing over. There was an army of foreign races stationed on this island. Lu Ming still had the fallen star bow, but Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the true Emperor realm. Even if he used the fallen star bow, it wouldn't be of much use. In addition, Lu Ming still had the Divine 9-Dragon Cauldron. Unfortunately, the Divine 9-Dragon Cauldron's energy seemed to have been depleted after the previous battle. All these years, there was no movement from it at all. Lu Ming couldn't control it. Now, he only had one trump card and that was his 3rd bloodline. In the past, he didn't dare to use his 3rd bloodline because it was too evil. Its power seemed to be limitless. But every time he used the power of his 3rd bloodline, he felt like he would be corroded by the power of his 3rd bloodline and become a killing puppet. However, in today's situation, he had no choice but to use it. Otherwise, they would all have to stay here. Someone had to escape and spread the news. Otherwise, the safety of the Heaven's Origin sector and all of Lu Ming's family and friends would be at stake. Come on! Lu Ming's eyes flashed viciously. With a thought, his 3rd bloodline appeared, and a surge of power poured out of it into Lu Ming's body. Kill, kill, kill! Lu Ming's mind was filled with roars, as a cold murderous intent was emitted from Lu Ming's body. His eyes had turned blood red, and so had his hair. Whoosh! Whoosh! Lu Ming thrust out his spear twice. 2 streaks of spear light clashed with the 2 peak Heavenly Emperors of the evil god tribe. With 2 loud explosions, Lu Ming's figure swayed and he retreated a few steps. However, the attacks of the 2 evil god tribe members were also blocked by Lu Ming. What is this? Doubt and seriousness flashed in the eyes of the two evil god tribe members. Lu Ming's sudden increase in power puzzled them. Not enough, still not enough. Again. Lu Ming roared in his heart. More energy from his third bloodline surged into Lu Ming's body, causing Lu Ming's murderous intent to become even stronger. Kill! Lu Ming shouted and charged toward the two evil god tribe members. This time, Lu Ming's power had increased greatly, completely suppressing the two evil god tribe members. Pang! Pang! The two evil god tribe members were sent flying by Lu Ming. However, they were not seriously injured and only suffered some light injuries. Not enough, still not enough. Lu Ming roared in his heart. Today, borrowing a bit of power was far from enough. He needed to have overwhelming power to escape. Boom! The third bloodline was like a boundless sea of blood, filled with boundless power. At this moment, the sea of blood was churning as waves of power surged into Lu Ming's body. Blood mist kept spreading out from Lu Ming's body. Bone spikes even appeared on Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's appearance became incomparably ferocious. Bubbles was shocked and flew away from Lu Ming's body. Big brother Lu Ming. Bubbles was extremely anxious. Bubbles had seen Lu Ming's appearance before. Back then, Lu Ming had almost lost himself and become a killing puppet. Bubbles. Leave quickly. Lu Ming roared. At this moment, his willpower was severely challenged. His heart was filled with endless killing intent. He only retained a trace of willpower to control himself. Roar! Next, Lu Ming let out a roar and charged towards Dandan. At this moment, Lu Ming kept his great spear of the wilderness. This was because his claws had become extremely sharp. Kill! Lu Ming roared and clawed at a foreign race peak great emperor. Poof! This foreign race peak great emperor couldn't resist at all. Lu Ming broke through his attack and defense. Then, Lu Ming grabbed his body and tore it into two. Next, Lu Ming charged towards the other foreign races. Saint Ancestor Xueqi. It's Saint Ancestor Xueqi. Saint Ancestor Xueqi is still alive. Ha ha ha, we must take down that kid. In the sky on the other side of the passageway, an excited voice could be heard. Then, the passageway shook violently. The weather changed as though it was going to be torn apart at any moment. When the foreign races heard this voice, they became even crazier and charged towards Lu Ming. Die die! Lu Ming's eyes were bloodshot. His claws were like knives as he pounced forward. Poof! Poof! One by one, the foreign races were torn apart by Lu Ming. Even a peak great emperor couldn't stop Lu Ming. Those below the peak great emperor level couldn't even withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. They were all killed by Lu Ming in groups. Dandan, Bubbles, charge out with me. Lu Ming roared and charged forward with all his might. Wherever he passed, the foreign races would fall. He had carved out a path of blood. At this moment, Bubbles flew to Dandan. Dandan carried her and followed behind Lu Ming as they charged out together. Don't even think about leaving. The exceptional expert who was fighting with 2E and Lei Yi shouted. He wanted to give up on 2E and Lei Yi and charge towards Lu Ming. However, 2E and Lei Yi didn't care about their lives. They pushed the power of the Heaven Dao soldiers to the maximum and chased after the other party. It wasn't easy for the other party to escape. Rip! At this moment, the passageway in the sky let out a loud roar. Then, an opening was forcefully torn open. One could see that there were two hands on both sides of the opening. They opened the opening and tore with all their might. The opening slowly became bigger and turned into a space crack. Boom! A towering figure suddenly charged out from the crack and appeared in the sky above the island. The towering figure was burly and was covered in purple scales. He was emitting a terrifying aura. Heaven Emperor. This was a heavenly emperor realm powerhouse. Although this foreign race wasn't as powerful as the exceptional expert, he was indeed a heaven emperor realm elite. Oh no! 2E, Lei Yi, Dandan and the rest were shocked. Chapter 2407. At the critical moment, a heavenly emperor of the foreign races had forcefully crossed the void and descended from the other world. Even an ordinary heavenly emperor might be able to change the outcome of the battle. The foreign race's eyes were ferocious as he looked at Lu Ming and Dandan. He took a step forward and appeared above Lu Ming's group. Boom! A huge mace appeared in his hand as he swung it at Lu Ming. Before the mace arrived, the terrifying force had already caused Dandan, Lu Ming, and the others to have difficulty breathing. Dandan and Lu Ming attacked at the same time. Dandan opened his mouth and spat out a small world. Lu Ming punched out with both fists, forming a blood-red fist energy that blasted towards the mace. Boom! Boom! 2 consecutive explosions sounded. Dandan's small world shook violently and flew back into Dandan's body. Dandan's body was pushed back, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Lu Ming's fist force was also defeated. His body retreated rapidly, as though his entire body was about to be torn apart. The Heavenly Emperor was too strong. With Lu Ming's current strength, although he could kill a peak Great Emperor, he was still no match for a Heavenly Emperor. All of you die! The foreign race's Heavenly Emperor's eyes were ferocious as he charged towards Lu Ming's group. That kid has the bloodline of the Saint Ancestor Xueqi. You can't kill him. Take him away. Kill the rest without mercy. Another voice sounded from the other side of the passage. The foreign race's Heavenly Emperor's eyes flashed as he swung his mace at Dandan. Don't even think about it. Lu Ming rushed over and blocked the attack, but his injuries worsened. Rumble! At this moment, the passage shook violently as the crack grew larger. Whoosh! At this moment, another figure rushed out from the crack. This was another foreign race's expert. Judging from his aura, he was also a Heavenly Emperor. Damn it! 2E, Lei E, and the others roared anxiously. The outsiders were going all out, constantly sending their experts over. That tunnel hadn't been fully opened yet. If the non-humankind forcibly sent their powerful warriors over, they would definitely have to pay a heavy price. But the outsiders didn't seem to care. It's over. I'm going to die here today. Dandan looked up at the sky and sighed. With 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors appearing consecutively, they could not escape. Ha ha ha, surrender. The Heavenly Monarch laughed and swung his mace towards Lu Ming and the others again. The foreign race that came later also charged over. If this goes on, I'll go all out. Power, power. I need power. Lu Ming roared in his heart. As you wish. A cold voice came from the 3rd bloodline. The sea of blood surged, forming a giant human face. Rumble. More and more power surged into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's strength was rising steadily. This brat. The eyes of the 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors revealed a solemn look. It's the power of Saint Ancestor Xueqi. Attack, take him down. A dignified voice came from the other side of the tunnel. Rumble. That tunnel shook even more violently. The foreign race seemed to be worried and wanted to send more experts over. Kill. At this moment, Lu Ming looked up at the sky and roared. At this moment, his will was completely drowned by endless killing intent. At this moment, there was only endless killing intent in Lu Ming's heart. There was nothing else. He forgot everything and was completely controlled by instinct, controlled by killing intent. Kill, kill, kill. Lu Ming roared and charged towards the 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors. The 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors' faces were solemn. Not daring to hold back, they unleashed their full strength and fought with Lu Ming. Continuous rumbles came. The 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors were locked in battle with Lu Ming. The foreign race Heavenly Emperors were actually blocked by Lu Ming. Big brother Lu Ming. Bubbles was extremely anxious. It's over. This brat is completely controlled by killing intent. Dandan was also extremely anxious. Little guy, we must rush out. If no one rushes out, then everything is really over. Dandan transmitted his voice to Bubbles and then rushed out with all his might. However, there were too many foreign races. They kept rushing towards Dandan, blocking Dandan's path. They were completely in a passive position. 2E and Lei E were blocked. Lu Ming and the 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors were fighting fiercely. Dandan and the rest were also blocked. If this continued, they would be left behind sooner or later. Power, power. Lu Ming had already lost his consciousness, only his instincts. He instinctively wanted to tear apart the enemies in front of him and kill all the living beings in front of him. Therefore, the 3rd bloodline still poured an endless stream of power into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's power became stronger and stronger. In the beginning, Lu Ming could only fight to a draw with the 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors. But slowly, Lu Ming began to gain the upper hand and started suppressing the 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors. The 2 foreign race Heavenly Emperors were beaten back repeatedly by Lu Ming. Pooh work. One of the foreign race heavenly emperors was careless and was swept by Lu Ming's sharp claws. A large piece of flesh was immediately torn off, making that foreign race heavenly emperor's expression change wildly, retreating repeatedly. Kill! Lu Ming roared and swept out his claw gleams. The surrounding foreign races below the heavenly emperor level were swept and directly exploded, turning into the ashes dissipated. It scared those foreign races below heavenly emperor until they retreated repeatedly, not daring to approach Lu Ming at all. Trash! All of you are trash! An angry roar came from that passageway. On the other side of the passageway, on the other side of the endless void, was another world. The world of the foreign races, the evil god realm. In a vast and uninhabited place of the evil god race, there was an incomparably huge array here. The array base of this array was condensed from the bones of a space-time spirit mouse and was covered with endless runes. At this moment, several foreign races stood high up in the sky. These foreign races looked no different from humans in appearance. They had a head of purple hair and a third eye at the center of their brows. This was the royal family of the evil god race. Behind these royal family members of the evil god race was a densely packed and endless foreign race army. Above that huge array was an incomparably huge passageway. The range was several times larger than the vortex on Lu Ming's side. At this moment, there were at least several dozen foreign race powerhouses borrowing the power of the array to bombard the passageway, wanting to open a gap. We must bring back Saint Ancestor Xueqi's bloodline. Once Saint Ancestor Xueqi revives, our race will be invincible in the world. Conquering the heaven realm is just around the corner. One of the royal family members of the evil god race in the middle spoke. This person had a square face and was filled with dignity. It was as if he controlled supreme power. That's right. We must bring back Saint Ancestor Xueqi's bloodline. It seems like we need to make a trip personally. Beside that royal family member of the evil god race were two other royal family members of the evil god race. At this moment, one of them spoke. All right. The royal family member of the evil god race in the middle nodded and then said, "Continue to increase the number of crystals, regardless of the cost." Instantly, the foreign races flew out one after another. A sea of crystals flew into the array. The array shone brightly and its power became even stronger. Swish! Swish! Chapter 2408. At this time, the great battle already entered the climax. Lu Ming completely suppressed the two foreign race heavenly emperors, his attacks getting fiercer and fiercer. Kill! Lu Ming shouted loudly. One of the foreign race heavenly emperors had his body grabbed by Lu Ming and tore with all his might, tearing that foreign race into two halves. Save me! That foreign race did not die, roaring loudly in horror. Bang! The other foreign race seized the opportunity and launched a fierce attack toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming's body trembled, retreating several steps in a row, and threw that foreign race's body out. That foreign race heavenly emperor's body fused together, his complexion pale. Heavenly emperor realm powerhouses naturally would not die so easily, but they were also scared badly just now. The aura emanating from Lu Ming's body was too terrifying, the killing intent as cold as blades. If there were no other people to help, he would really die at Lu Ming's hands. The two foreign race heavenly emperors had ugly expressions. At this rate they would really die here. Rumble! At this time, that passageway started vibrating crazily, even more intensely than before. Then that crack became bigger and bigger. Following that, everyone saw two streaks of purple light rush out of the crack. The two streaks of purple light converged, revealing two figures. Two lords. Seeing the two figures, the two foreign race heavenly emperors were wild with joy. These two figures were precisely the foreign race's two royal race powerhouses. Nest, it's really over. Dandan cried out loudly. Originally, the foreign race powerhouses were too many. They could not resist at all. Now, another two came. Furthermore, it was even two foreign race royal races. From the expressions of the two foreign race heavenly emperors, one could tell that these two foreign race royal races were absolutely very horrifying existences. A bunch of trash. Move aside for me. One of the foreign race royal races stepped forward, a head of purple hair fluttering. His body suffused with a resplendent purple light. At the same time, he smacked a palm out. A purple palm was incomparably huge, suppressing down toward Lu Ming. That kind of aura was simply earth-shaking, making people's expressions change. Peerless powerhouse, This is a peerless powerhouse. Dandan couldn't help but exclaim. Today was really over. This foreign race royal was a peerless powerhouse above 4-star heavenly emperor. His strength was even stronger than that peerless powerhouse from before, terrifying to the extreme. Apart from that, there was still a king of a foreign race who had yet to make a move, but his strength was definitely terrifying as well. However, in the face of this move, Lu Ming didn't panic at all. Or rather, he didn't know what panic was. In his heart, there was only death. Power, power, kill, kill. Lu Ming roared madly, his instincts telling him to continuously borrow the power of his third bloodline. Tremendous power poured out of Lu Ming's third bloodline and into Lu Ming's body. Puff, puff. Cracks began to appear on Lu Ming's body, and blood flowed out continuously. Lu Ming could not borrow the power of the third bloodline endlessly, because his physical strength was limited. If he used too much power, his body would explode. He could borrow such a powerful force to suppress a heavenly emperor, and it was all thanks to his strong physical body. Otherwise it would be impossible. Now, Lu Ming had reached his limit. Roar! Lu Ming soared into the sky like a wild beast and punched the palm of the foreign race royal. Boom! There was an earth-shattering explosion. Lu Ming's body shook violently, and he flew back like a kite with a broken string. His body cracked, and he coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. This was the other party being merciful. The foreign race royal obviously didn't want to kill Lu Ming. They wanted to capture Lu Ming alive and keep him for great use. Stubborn resistance, the foreign race royal said coldly. He stretched out his hand again, and another palm pressed down on Lu Ming. Lu Ming roared, not afraid at all, and fought against the other party again. This time, Lu Ming was sent flying again, and his injuries were even more serious. What are you all still standing there for? Go and kill those people. A space-time spirit mouse and a world turtle. Just nice to get rid of them. The foreign race royal who didn't make a move ordered coldly. The two foreign race heavenly emperors' faces changed, and they stepped out at the same time, charging towards Dandan and the others. The foreign race royal who didn't make a move went towards 2-1 and Lei 1. They wanted to end this battle once and for all. Right at this moment, moo! A cow's roar suddenly came from afar. The roar was earth-shattering, and it carried a terrifying power that swept over. Those low-level foreign races that were below the great emperor realm were blasted apart by the roar, and their bodies and souls were destroyed. Even the great emperor realm foreign races were struck by lightning. Their bodies cracked, and they coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. They were severely injured. In an instant, who knew how many foreign races died on the spot? However, the strange thing was that Dandan and Bubbles were unharmed. Lu Ming, on the other hand, was jolted awake by this cry. His consciousness, which had been completely drowned by the murderous intent. He could barely discern his current situation. This roar. Lu Ming's heart was filled with joy. Old cow, it's that old cow. Ha ha ha, Dandan laughed maniacally. In the distance, a giant cow that was as tall as the sky was walking towards them. It seemed to be moving slowly, but it was actually shockingly fast. In an instant, it was already in front of them. Moo! The giant cow roared again, and a terrifying sound wave rushed towards the foreign race royal and the foreign race heavenly emperors. The two ordinary foreign race heavenly emperors' faces changed drastically. They tried their best to resist, but they were still sent flying and coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. Titan Longhorn Bull, the foreign race royal who attacked Lu Ming, shouted angrily. His body glowed, and he struck out with his palms to resist the sound wave. Boom! Boom! Violent shockwaves rang out, and the foreign race royal's body trembled continuously. Titan Longhorn Bull. Yes, this giant cow was the Titan Longhorn Bull. Lu Ming had never thought that the Titan Longhorn Bull would dare to come to his aid at this critical moment. Wasn't the Titan Longhorn Bull guarding a forbidden land in the Tsang state? Why would it come here? You're just a seriously injured cow. Do you think you can save them by coming here? You'll die together with them today. The foreign race royal who didn't attack previously said coldly. He took a step forward, and a terrifying aura erupted from his body. He was even stronger than the foreign race royal who attacked previously. What if I join you? A figure suddenly appeared beside the Titan Longhorn Bull. It was a middle-aged man. He was tall and thin, but he was handsome. His eyes were sharp, but they were filled with vicissitudes of life. However, He exuded an unfathomable aura. Jiao Ming, it's you. Ha ha ha, you're all here to save me, right? Ha ha ha. Dandan laughed maniacally. Interesting. 4 of the top 10 beasts of the Heaven Domain came today. Let's get rid of them together. The foreign race royal who didn't attack previously said coldly. His body glowed with purple light. He took a step forward and threw a punch at the tall and thin middle-aged man. The other foreign race royal charged towards the Titan Longhorn Bull. An incomparably intense battle unfolded. Go quickly. Chapter 2409. Lu Ming's body was covered in blood-red mist as he turned into a ray of light and charged towards the 2 heavenly emperors. Wherever he passed, the bodies of the other races would explode. The countenances of the 2 heavenly emperors from foreign races changed drastically. They did not seek to achieve anything but to avoid making any mistakes. The 2 of them joined forces to defend with all their might. However, they were still hit by Lu Ming's move until they vomited large mouthfuls of blood and almost died. Retreat! The Titan Longhorn Bull's voice resounded through the sky as its horns slashed towards the other party. You want to save people with your severely injured bodies? Don't even think about leaving today. The Heavenly Emperor roared as his body was drowned in purple light. He was extremely powerful as he fought with the Titan Longhorn Bull. If the Titan Longhorn Bull was at its peak in the ancient era, he wouldn't be its opponent. However, the Titan Longhorn Bull was severely injured in the ancient war and had yet to recover. He wasn't afraid at all. The Titan Longhorn Bull roared. Its roar shook the sky and the void collapsed. In the distance, Xueqi and Lei Yi were still fighting with a peerless Heavenly Emperor. However, at this moment, the Titan Longhorn Bull's roar rushed over. The peerless Heavenly Emperor's face changed as he tried his best to resist and took a few steps back. Xueqi and Lei Yi finally found an opportunity to escape and retreat 10,000 miles to Lu Ming's side. Young master, let's go. Xueqi roared. Let's go. Lu Ming was affected by the Titan Longhorn Bull and barely regained a trace of clarity. He also understood the current situation, and it was best to retreat. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. They retreated quickly. Stay. Right at this moment, there was a loud shout in the sky. Then, the sky cracked open and a huge purple hand stretched out from the sky. It was so huge that it covered the sky and the sun. It grabbed toward Lu Ming, Xueqi, Lei Yi, and the rest. The pressure was extremely strong and was the strongest expert Lu Ming had encountered so far. How is this possible? Lu Ming's pupils contracted rapidly. The other party didn't attack through the passage but directly broke through the void. If the other party was in the Fiend God realm, he could directly break through the void to attack. This kind of strength was too frightening. Oh no, a peak-level Heavenly Emperor, retreat! Dandan shouted. However, in the face of this huge palm, there was no way to retreat. Young master, leave now. Xueqi roared and unleashed all his strength. He pushed the meteor hammer to the limit and smashed it towards the giant hand. At the same time, Lei Yi also activated the Heavenly Dao weapon with all his strength to attack the big hand. Roar! Lu Ming's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. His entire body was covered in bone spikes, making him look extremely ferocious. He also attacked that large hand. With the 3 of them working together, their power was extremely powerful as they bombarded the purple hand. Boom! 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 3 consecutive earth-shattering explosions erupted. The airwaves whistled as if they could topple the mountains and overturn the seas. The 2 Heavenly Dao soldiers shook violently and then flew back. Tu-1 and Lei-1 were shocked by the force and were sent flying tens of thousands of miles away. Lu Ming's body shook violently as well. He spat out mouthfuls of blood and was sent flying backwards. However, just as Lu Ming was about to fly backwards, the purple hand erupted with an incomparably powerful suction force, sucking him in and causing him to fly towards the purple hand instead. Not good. The Titan Longhorn Beetle and the tall and thin man named Jiao Ming wanted to help, but they were entangled by the 2 foreign tribe royals. Swoosh! Lu Ming flew directly towards the palm of that large hand. Roar! Lu Ming unleashed all his strength, but it was useless. That large hand was sturdy and indestructible. Its power was extremely powerful and could not be blasted away at all. In the next moment, that large hand clenched and directly grabbed Lu Ming in its hand. At this moment, a terrifying and boundless power surged into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's body trembled. What little consciousness he had also fell into a blur and lost consciousness. After that large hand grabbed Lu Ming, it retracted back. "Young master," Tu-1 and Lei-1 roared, wanting to save him. "Don't be rash. The person who attacked is a peak heavenly emperor. Although he attacked from an infinite distance and the power is greatly reduced, Lu Ming has already been captured by him. With our strength, we can't save him. Retreat first." The Titan Longhorn Beetle roared. The aura on his body became stronger and stronger. With a sudden roar, he forced the other party back repeatedly. "Titan, you take them away first. I'll block the foreign tribes," the tall and thin middle-aged man said. The aura on his body also became stronger and stronger. The power of his attack was even more shocking. He actually forcefully blocked the 2 foreign tribe royals. With a heavily injured body, you can forget about recovering to your peak for the rest of your life. A foreign tribe royal roared angrily. However, the 2 of them were blocked by the tall and thin man. The Titan Longhorn Beetle's huge body charged towards Dandan and the rest. With a loud roar, even the foreign tribe peerless powerhouse at the beginning could not block it. His body trembled violently and he retreated repeatedly. The bodies of the 2 foreign tribe ordinary heavenly emperors exploded directly, their bodies and souls annihilated. A large number of foreign tribes below the heavenly emperor level died directly. The Titan Longhorn Beetle's huge body arrived beside Dandan and the rest. A surge of power swept them up and rushed towards Tu-1 and Lei-1. "Big brother Lu Ming!" Bubbles shouted, her eyes staring straight ahead. At this time, the big hand that grabbed Lu Ming had already retracted and disappeared into the eternal void. Sigh! The Titan Longhorn Beetle also sighed secretly. It was not that he did not want to save them, but that he could not save them at all. The other party was too strong. He was a peak heavenly emperor existence, a true peak powerhouse. If he was at his peak, he could compete with the other party. Unfortunately, he was seriously injured in the ancient war and had not recovered yet. His strength was greatly reduced and he was no match for the other party at all. "Let's go, inform the heavenly realm powerhouses and send someone to guard this place." The Titan Longhorn Beetle activated another surge of power and swept Tu-1 and Lei-1 into the distance at an extremely fast speed. "Damn it!" The 2 foreign tribe royals roared angrily and attacked crazily, wanting to kill the tall and thin man. However, the tall and thin man's strength was still above the Titan Longhorn Beetle. At this time, he did not care about his injuries and erupted with a shocking attack, repelling the 2 of them in one fell swoop. His figure swayed, shattered the void, and disappeared. The 2 foreign tribe royals' faces were extremely gloomy. "The rest of you, retreat to our world first. When the passage is fully opened, we will attack here. The heavenly realm and the primordial realm will fall into our hands sooner or later." One of the foreign tribe royals shouted loudly and then returned in a flash. Not long after, on a mountain peak in the primordial continent, Dandan, Bubbles, Tu-1, Lei-1, the Titan Longhorn Beetle, and the tall and thin man gathered. "Titan, Jiuming, thank you for saving me this time." Dandan sighed. "I also inadvertently discovered the abnormality here, so I asked Titan to come with me. I didn't expect to encounter such a scene." The tall and thin man sighed. This tall and thin man was one of the top 10 battle beasts, the 9 lives demonic silkworm. "Big brother Lu Ming, will he be okay?" Bubbles was extremely worried. "He shouldn't be. Lu Ming's bloodline origin is shocking. Listening to the other party's conversation just now, he probably won't kill Lu Ming," Dandan said. During the previous battle, the other party roared not to kill Lu Ming and to kill the others without mercy. This made Dandan think of many things. "I hope so." Tu-1 and Lei-1 sighed. "Let's return to the heavenly realm first and spread the news." Chapter 24:10. In an ancient secret chamber in the evil god realm, Lu Ming was lying in the middle of the chamber. He was shrouded in a thick blood aura and killing intent. Around Lu Ming, there were more than 10 figures. More than half of these figures were purple-haired royalty of the foreign races. Those who were at the entrance of the passage were all present. The other foreign races also had powerful auras. These were the top elites of the evil god tribe. The weakest of them was a 4-star heavenly emperor. At this moment, the foreign races were staring at Lu Ming with burning eyes. "It's really the saint ancestor Xueqi. I didn't expect him to survive the battle back then. He left behind his bloodline and was reborn in a human. I really didn't expect him." An old man exclaimed. This old man was also a royalty of the foreign race. However, he was very old. His face was full of wrinkles and his purple hair had lost its luster. Ha ha ha, the heavens are really protecting our tribe. If the saint ancestor Xueqi is not dead, our tribe will definitely flatten the heaven world and break through the world to achieve unparalleled glory. That's right. When the time comes, flatten the heaven world will be as easy as flipping our hands. The ancestral dragon will not be able to stop us. The other foreign races were extremely excited and laughed heartily. They were waiting for the awakening of the saint ancestor Xueqi. However, at this moment, their faces changed drastically. This was because Lu Ming's body was emitting a different kind of light. Bas! Lu Ming's body vibrated. Then, a stone tablet appeared and expanded rapidly. The stone tablet vibrated continuously and emitted layers of black light that surged towards Lu Ming's body. That's right. This stone tablet was the suppressing stone tablet. The light emitted by the suppressing stone tablet surged into Lu Ming's body and emitted a terrifying suppressing force. It was suppressing the third bloodline's blood-red light. Kill, kill, kill. The blood-red light roared continuously, wanting to destroy Lu Ming completely and replace him. However, the suppressing stone tablet shone brightly and its suppressing force was extremely strong. It kept suppressing the blood-red light. The third bloodline's blood-red light was suppressed by the suppressing stone tablet. It wriggled slowly and retreated back into Lu Ming's body. The blood qi on Lu Ming's body slowly thinned. The dozen or so outsiders were all dumbfounded. The prison-suppressing steel. It's the prison-suppressing steel. Damn it! Why is the prison-suppressing steel in this person's body? Damn it! I get it now. The prison-suppressing steel is also this person's bloodline. It was used to suppress Saint Ancestor Xueqi. What a cunning scheme. Damn it! Let's attack and seize the prison-suppressing steel. Not bad. The dozen or so outsider experts roared. Boom, boom, boom. 3 foreign races attacked at the same time. The cultivation bases of these 3 foreign races were shockingly strong. Each of them was a 5 or 6-star heavenly emperor. The 3 of them made their moves. Their powers formed a sealing force that enveloped the prison-suppressing monument. They wanted to pull the monument out of Lu Ming's body. Wang, wang, wang. The prison-suppressing steel shook violently. Lu Ming's body also shook slightly. Strip! The 3 of them roared and erupted with all of their strength. But at this moment, the prison-suppressing monument suddenly shook violently. At the same time, it shone brightly. A terrifying power emanated from the prison-suppressing monument, as if it could suppress the heavens. Bam, bam, bam. The 3 foreign race experts shuddered violently as if they had suffered a terrifying attack. They retreated and spat out mouthfuls of blood. Their faces were pale. As expected of the prison-suppressing monument. The natal divine weapon of that person back then is extraordinary. Although it is not complete, the power it contains is extremely shocking. Let's attack together. A majestic royal of a foreign race said. All right, let's attack together. The others nodded. Immediately, the dozen or so foreign races exuded an extremely terrifying aura. Among these foreign races, the weakest one was a 4-star heavenly emperor. The strongest one was a peak heavenly emperor. When the dozen or so of them attacked together, they could dominate the world. At the same time, the dozen or so people attacked together. More than 10 rays of light turned into a sealing force. They wanted to imprison the prison-suppressing monument and then strip it out. Wang, wang. The prison-suppressing monument shook violently. Then, it started to expand and a terrifying power erupted from it. The power of this power was even stronger than the dozen or so foreign races combined. Wang. In the end, the prison-suppressing monument shook violently. An even more terrifying power spread out and destroyed the sealing force of the dozen or so foreign races. Moreover, the dozen or so foreign races were repelled by the power of the prison-suppressing monument and were forced to retreat. A few of the weaker ones were knocked against the walls of the secret chamber. Their faces were extremely pale and blood was oozing out of their mouths. The dozen or so foreign races' faces were extremely ugly. With their strength, they could not do anything to the prison-suppressing monument. Damn it! The power of the prison-suppressing monument is too strong. Not to mention us, even an undefeatable expert would not be able to strip it off. Unless someone of the same level as us makes a move. A foreign race old man said with an ugly expression. The others' faces were gloomy. Where could they find someone of the same level as them? Did they have to ask the old ancestor for help?
However, the old ancestor was severely injured in the battle back then and had been in a deep slumber.
How could he make a move now? What should we do? Someone asked. There is only one way to strip the prison-suppressing monument. That is to make this kid do it willingly. As long as he cooperates, it will be easy to strip the prison-suppressing monument. Then, Saint Ancestor Xueqi will wake up. The majestic royal of a foreign race said, "This kid will cooperate?" The others were not convinced. There is no other way. We can only wait for him to wake up. The majestic royal said. Left with no choice, they could only wait. The prison-suppressing monument floated above Lu Ming. Its radiance became brighter and brighter, forming a suppressive force that surged into Lu Ming's body. The blood-red mist on Lu Ming's body slowly faded away. Lu Ming's consciousness fell into darkness. It was as if he was floating in the darkness without any concept of time. He did not know how long he had been floating in the darkness. After some time, a beam of light pierced through the darkness. Lu Ming immediately rushed toward the beam of light. Boom! Lu Ming felt a jolt in his head and his consciousness returned in an instant. What happened? Oh right, we found out that the foreign races were trying to open the passage. We went to stop them. A terrifying battle broke out. I used the power of the third bloodline. And the Titan Longhorn Beetle. I was captured. Lu Ming muttered. Everything appeared in his mind. Dandan, Bubbles, Xueqi, and Lei Yi. How are they? They should be fine with the Titan Longhorn Beetle around. Lu Ming was worried and suddenly opened his eyes. What came into view was a secret chamber. There were pieces of luminous stones inlaid in the secret chamber, illuminating it as if it was daytime. A purple-haired middle-aged man with a square face looked very majestic. He looked at Lu Ming with his hands behind his back. There was no one else except for him. You're finally awake. Your name is Lu Ming, right? The majestic middle-aged man said. Even his voice was quite majestic. Who are you? Wait, you are a foreign race. Lu Ming squinted his eyes because he saw that there was a third eye between the man's eyebrows. A royal of a foreign race. Chapter 24:11. I am Emo Luojia, the barrier-breaking general of the evil god realm. The middle-aged man spoke. Barrier-breaking general, breaking my heaven realm? Lu Ming sneered. Emo Luojia's eyes were calm, and he did not speak. Is this the evil god realm? You captured me, didn't you? Lu Ming said. He sensed carefully and found that this place was different from the primordial realm of the heaven realm. The space here was filled with a strange energy, which was very different from the primordial realm of the heaven realm. But Lu Ming's eyes suddenly lit up. He found that the laws of heaven and earth here were exactly the same as the primordial realm of the heaven realm. He originally thought that the evil god tribe and the primordial realm of the heaven realm were two different worlds, and the laws of heaven and earth would be completely different. He did not expect that they were exactly the same. Strange. Lu Ming was surprised, but this was a good thing for him. That's right, I captured you. Emo Luojia stared at Lu Ming and said, Now, I need your cooperation. My cooperation? Lu Ming's lips curled into a mocking smile. Tell me. Cooperate and let me strip the prison-suppressing steel from your body. Emo Luojia said. You know I have the prison-suppressing steel? Lu Ming's eyes flickered. From the beginning to the end, he had not used the prison-suppressing steel. How did the other party know? Was it because the other party's cultivation was so strong that he saw through everything, or did something happen when he was unconscious? Wait, how did I wake up? I crazily borrowed the power of the third bloodline, and my consciousness was already devoured by the endless killing intent of the third bloodline. I was about to become a killing puppet. How did I wake up? It can't be that the other party saved me. Could it be the prison-suppressing steel? Lu Ming suddenly remembered that when he had just obtained a drop of ancestral dragon blood, it had caused the third bloodline to go berserk. But later, the prison-suppressing steel erupted and suppressed the third bloodline. Could it be that the prison-suppressing steel saved him again this time? Was it because the prison-suppressing steel suppressed the power of the third bloodline that he could wake up? Very likely. That was why the other party knew that he had the prison-suppressing steel. What is the third bloodline? Hold on, Saint Ancestor Xueqi. During the previous battle,
The other party shouted, Saint Ancestor Xueqi.
Could he be referring to the third bloodline? What is the third bloodline? What did it have to do with the outsiders? Could it be that they want me to be devoured by the third bloodline? At that instant, a few thoughts crossed Lu Ming's mind. How smart was he? Based on some scattered clues, he was actually able to deduce most of the truth. Looks like if I don't cooperate, you won't be able to remove the prison-suppressing steel. The smile on Lu Ming's face widened. Instead of answering directly, Marojia said coldly, "You just need to cooperate." "Ha ha, I took the initiative to cooperate. I'm afraid that after the prison-suppressing steel is taken away, it will also be the time of my death. How can I be that stupid?"
Lu Ming laughed loudly.
"You don't deserve it. Only death awaits you,"
Marojia said coldly.
"Oh really? Then you can kill me now,"
Lu Ming said.
"You," a cold light flashed in Marojia's eyes.
He did not expect Lu Ming to be so difficult to deal with at such a young age.
If they could kill Lu Ming, they would have killed Lu Ming a long time ago. But if they killed Lu Ming, Saint Ancestor Xueqi would not be able to wake up. "Tell me, why do you want to remove the prison-suppressing steel? Who is Saint Ancestor Xueqi? What is his relationship with my third bloodline?" Lu Ming stared at Marojia and asked a few questions in a row. Since he had fallen into the hands of the outsiders, he was ready to risk everything. At worst he would die. "These are not questions for you to ask."
Marojia stared coldly at Lu Ming and said, "It looks like you don't agree?"
"Even if I agree, I'm afraid I'll still die. Without the hell-suppressing monument, I'll be devoured by the boundless killing intent. Rather than turning into a killing puppet, I'd rather you guys just kill me."
Lu Ming smiled faintly and did not care.
"If you agree, I can guarantee that you won't die.
I can extract your soul and find you a suitable body so that you can seize it and be reborn,"
Marojia said. "Thank you for your kindness." Lu Ming smiled faintly.
Extract his soul and find a new body?
What a joke. He would rather die.
Moreover, he concluded that the outsiders were so eager to remove the prison-suppressing steel and let the third bloodline devour him.
There must be a conspiracy. Saint Ancestor Xueqi, could it be that my third bloodline is a terrifying expert of the outsiders who has been reborn in me and wants to use my body to be reborn? But my second bloodline is the prison-suppressing steel, which happens to suppress the third bloodline? Lu Ming's imagination ran wild. If that was the case, he would not agree.
Otherwise, the heaven realm and the primordial realm would suffer.
"Don't think that we can't do anything if you don't agree." Marojia waved his sleeves and left with a cold face. The door of the secret chamber closed, leaving Lu Ming alone. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He walked to the side of the secret chamber and observed the walls. The walls of the secret room were made of an unknown material, and there were mysterious runes drawn on them. Lu Ming shook his head. He knew that since the outsiders were so confident in locking him in here, it would be wishful thinking for him to break out of this secret chamber. "Since I'm here, I might as well take it easy. Since the laws here are the same as those in the heaven realm and the primordial realm, I can still cultivate. Moreover, under such circumstances, the outsiders are not killing me. I'm afraid that killing me will be detrimental to their so-called Saint Ancestor Xueqi." At this thought, Lu Ming was relieved. As long as he did not die, there would always be a chance. Lu Ming sat cross-legged and adjusted his state to the best. Then, he began to comprehend the law of cause and effect. Now among the 10 supreme laws, Lu Ming only had the law of cause and effect and the law of destiny that he had yet to comprehend. After Marojia walked out of the secret chamber, he came to a large hall. More than a dozen outsider experts were waiting in the main hall. "General, how did it go? Did that kid agree?" an elder asked. "That kid is young, but he's very smart. I'm afraid he's already guessed a lot. He didn't agree at all. He won't be swayed by force or persuasion." Marojia frowned. "Won't be swayed by force or persuasion. That kid is courting death. I'll kill him." A burly foreign tribe expert was furious. But halfway through, he swallowed his words and smiled awkwardly. If he killed Lu Ming, how could the Saint Ancestor Xueqi awaken? "General, what should we do now?" someone asked. "Lock that kid up here. We'll study it again and see if we can find a way to remove the prison-suppressing steel from that kid. At the same time, send a message to the other royal tribes. Let them think of a way." Merogia said. All right, that's the only way. I don't believe that we can't remove a broken piece of the prison-suppressing steel. Chapter 24:12. At this point, the other tribes had no other choice. They could not kill Lu Ming, and they could not remove the prison-suppressing steel. Only by getting Lu Ming to cooperate willingly could they remove the prison-suppressing steel. How could they get Lu Ming to cooperate willingly? That was to make Lu Ming despair, to let Lu Ming see the terrifying strength of the other tribes, and to let Lu Ming understand that the Heaven Realm was no match for the other tribes. The Heaven Realm was destined to be destroyed by the other tribes. Even if Lu Ming did not agree, it would not change the outcome. Then they would give Lu Ming hope, a way to survive, resources, and his family. Only then would Lu Ming yield and agree to the other tribes' conditions. Let him move freely in our realm, but send an expert to follow him, lest he gets killed by others. The other tribe king ordered. This was the evil god realm. If a human swaggered on the streets, he would be killed. Yes. Moruogia and the others bowed and accepted the order. All right, let's do that. The other tribe king ordered, then got up and left. On this day, Lu Ming was cultivating when the door to the secret chamber opened again. Moruogia and an old man walked in. Here they come again. In my opinion, you don't have to waste your time. You can't remove the prison-suppressing steel. Lu Ming mocked. We're not here today to remove the prison-suppressing steel, but to let you out. Moruogia said. Let me out. Lu Ming was stunned and surprised. He did not expect the other party to let him out. That's right. You can go to our realm, but you can only stay here. If you want to return to the Heaven Realm, don't daydream. Let's go. With that, Moruogia turned and left. What are these other tribes up to? Lu Ming was confused. However, it was better to be able to leave than to stay in this secret chamber forever. There was nothing to think about. Lu Ming strode out with Moruogia. Walking out of the secret chamber, Lu Ming came to a platform, and his eyes flashed. This was because the scenery that entered his eyes was simply too magnificent. This secret chamber should be located at an extremely high position. They stood at this position, towering into the clouds. Their field of vision was extremely wide, and they could see extremely far away. What entered his eyes was a large number of buildings. These buildings were very strange. They were completely different from the buildings in the Heaven Realm. They looked more barbaric, more majestic, and very magnificent. Such buildings were endless and could not be seen at a glance. This was a huge city, even bigger than the ancient city in the Heaven Realm. In the city, figures were constantly flashing. All of them were foreign races. There were burly foreign races with black scales, purple-scaled foreign races, short foreign races with 4 arms, and shadow-like foreign races. There were too many. These foreign tribes did not conceal their auras at all. Lu Ming could clearly sense their terrifying auras soaring into the sky. So many experts, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. Just by sensing, Lu Ming discovered that there were shockingly many experts among these foreign races. There were large groups of martial emperors. There were also many true emperors. There were even many great emperors. There were too many experts in this world. This is the royal city of our tribe, Moruogia explained. The royal city. No wonder. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. The royal city was usually a place where experts gathered. It was normal for there to be many experts. However, this is just one of the royal cities of our tribe. Moruogia added. One of the royal families? What do you mean? Lu Ming asked subconsciously. Our evil god tribe has a total of 10 royal families. Naturally, we have 10 royal cities. This is one of the royal cities of our tribe. I don't mind telling you that these years, only 3 of the 10 royal families have been attacking the Heaven Realm. Not all of them. Moruogia said. What? This time, Lu Ming's heart trembled violently. There were actually 10 royal families of the foreign races. In these years, only 3 of them had attacked the Heaven Realm. This meant that the other 7 royal families had not attacked the foreign races. The 3 royal families had already forced the Heaven Realm into a disadvantageous position. If the 10 royal families all attacked the Heaven Realm, the Heaven Realm would not be able to resist at all. This was really beyond Lu Ming's expectations. At this moment, he was really anxious. Seeing Lu Ming's expression, Moruogia smiled. This was what he wanted to see. Shock, despair. Now you know the strength of our tribe. If the Heaven Realm wants to fight with us, it's like hitting a stone with an egg. Moruogia sneered. How could this be? No, the Heaven Realm must have hidden forces. Otherwise, it would have been destroyed by the foreign races long ago. Yes, it's definitely not that simple. There must be something hidden. Otherwise, the foreign races would not have delayed for so many years and not destroyed the Heaven Realm. Lu Ming's mind turned, and he calmed himself down. Phew, after a while, Lu Ming took a deep breath and calmed down. This kid, Moruogia was shocked. Lu Ming's mental fortitude was beyond his expectations. After hearing that the foreign races were so powerful, he calmed down so quickly. Humph, when you see the real strength of our tribe, let's see how you can stay calm. Moruogia snorted in his heart and ordered. Jia, from now on he will follow him. Do you understand? Yes, great general. The old man beside Moruogia bowed. Swish. Moruogia took a step and disappeared without a trace. Since I'm here, I'll take it easy. Since I'm here, I'll take a good look around. If I can learn more about the secrets of the foreign races, it will be helpful if I can return to the Heaven Realm in the future. At the thought of this, Lu Ming leaped off the platform and flew downward. Jia was not far behind Lu Ming. After jumping off the platform, Lu Ming walked toward a street. The buildings of the foreign races were simple and tall. Each building was a few hundred meters tall, and the streets were extremely wide. Lu Ming swaggered down the street. On the other hand, the foreign tribesmen on the streets were stunned. Their eyes widened as they stared at Lu Ming. He's not from our tribe? He looks like a human. Yes, he's a human. A human dares to swagger down the street in our tribe's royal city. What's going on? The foreign races on the street discussed animatedly. Furthermore, this news spread like a whirlwind. Soon, the area was surrounded by all kinds of foreign races. Hey, make way, make way. You're blocking the way. Don't you have manners? Lu Ming was very arrogant and scolded them directly. Oh my, this human is so arrogant. A human dares to scold us in our tribe's royal city. He's courting death. A bad-tempered foreign race member shouted, revealing a cold murderous intent. However, at the sight of Jia, who was beside Lu Ming, all of them shuddered. Jia's aura was too terrifying. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.